All right. Cheers, brother. Give us a little cheers.
There you are. There you are.
Perfect. Thanks for coming in, man.
No worries.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah, like best we can be, I suppose, at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I think I've got my head wrapped around isolation. I mean, we'll
Yeah.
start off with the corona bullshit before we go into the
Yeah,
meaty
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Is your hair Corona inspired? I see you've dyed the hair. You've gone a bit crazy there.
Yeah, look, fuck, like I've gone on the bandwagon. I know everyone's in the dye your hair stage.
Yeah.
But like my flatmate Weeds, he dyed his hair first.
Yeah.
But he went like a I like to call it boy band blonde.
Boy band blonde.
Boy
Yeah.
band blonde.
Real
Yeah.
blonde. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking of doing it. I hit up Simi, a scram.
Yeah.
To get it done, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we could go blonde." And then I was like, "Nah, like if you're gonna do it, may as well do it
Something a bit out there.
yeah, do it something a bit different." And then I decided that I was gonna go like pink, but then I went a deeper like pink just to let it fade, see how long it lasts. And I'm not gonna lie, now that I've done it, I'm slightly addicted.
Yeah. You're gonna do another color soon or something.
Yeah, so when this fades out, I'm over it. I'm probably gonna go purple next.
Yep.
And then I might go try blue afterwards, and then just see what I like or whatever.
Get the rainbow. Get all the colors of the rainbow at
Look,
once.
everyone has told me that. I just don't have that much balls to go.
Yeah, it's pretty out
to
there.
go the full rainbow.
Yeah, full rainbow.
Endorsed by Paddle Pops, but
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I've got Scram lined up to do my hair too. That's why I'm growing my hair out and just letting it go. I was like, I'll just let it grow real long for like, and then you can just do whatever you want. Like, so she's got to figure out what she's gonna do. I'm not gonna tell her.
yeah. Oath. No, that's cool. That's cool. You have any ideas?
No, it's just all
just
on
a
her.
full
All on her. Full creative control.
roll of the dice. What do
Yeah.
you reckon? That's kind of like what I came in with a little bit when I walked in. I did want to go like a pink, but I just said, look, whatever you reckon fits.
Yeah.
Just go for gold. You're the expert in this league, not me. So
Yeah, sweet. So and you said earlier you've been doing heaps of production.
yeah,
the
so
moment,
I'm still relatively new in the scheme of things, but I've just been knuckling down at home whilst, better than twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah.
And just been riding like as many tunes as I can, just getting the feel for it, trying out how to do remixes, edits and whatnot. I've got a few bunch of things I'm sitting on, but like a lot of people have told me just to be just patient before you do your first release.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
just
it's there forever.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And you want to make sure like you're putting out some good quality stuff. Make sure I'm ready. And I was really impatient to start with, but most artists I've realized, would rather wait longer and put out quality.
Yeah.
And I'm only 6 months is nothing or whatever.
Yeah.
12 months or however long it takes. It's very small in the grand thing, in the grand scheme of life.
Did you study at all? Did I see you doing some study for music?
No, no, I haven't. I've been thinking about it, but I'm just self-taught of YouTube, I suppose.
Yeah, as most people are. Yeah.
There's just so much good, coming from a teacher too. There's so much good content on YouTube, and there's so many good artist profiles and people who you. The more you sift through it, the more you find the style of explanations you like on YouTube. And once you've got that, it's literally a gold mine. The hardest part is just being able to know what to look for.
Yeah.
It took me a solid 2 weeks of just sifting through volumes of shit and just stuff I don't even know, what level do I need to use this? It's like, this is advanced, this is intermediate, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, just off YouTube, I have been thinking of studying a music production course.
Yep.
But I just don't know where or how to do it. I don't know if I want to do it online with an overseas one. There's a Point Blank music school I know is world renowned.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, massive. They've got spots London, Ibiza, and online as well. And heaps of decent artists come out from it.
Of course. Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah, and it's but the thing is with those, you're looking at in the thousands, and it's there's no point in me doing it now when I'm still a freshie, when I'm just absorbing everything I can. It'd be more so when I want to push myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of jumping on the self-taught bandwagon.
What kind of music you're writing? Because you play tech house mainly,
Yeah.
like, in most gigs. So is that the kind of vibe?
Yeah, so I've started off with a genre I'm comfortable
Yeah.
with. I'm already starting to drift.
Yeah. What are you like starting to get into? Like then when you say
So
drift.
yeah, so I just love writing. I've been writing like fat bangers, just classic club tracks. Trying to steer away from the Fisher vibe just because it's more overdone than a 4 cheese pizza.
Yeah.
But now like I've been moving more into like that. You could call it like deep tech, or you could call it prog housey, but not like full prog. Like Medusa would probably be, and Camel
cool.
Fat are my biggest
cool.
inspos.
Yeah.
So just started drifting into that, and just see where that goes. Eventually, I want to start writing. You could call it like, I wouldn't call it like future based, but definitely like in the electronic realm.
Yeah.
Definitely like off key, different like alias and whatnot.
Yeah.
But just to get like my more emotional side out over there, and then keep all the naughty club tracks for the Mason Maffick.
Yeah. That's it. So you do that under a different alias, you were saying?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I've had this thought for ages, even before I started producing. I'm gonna call it Gemini. There's a whole lot of a backstory to it that
Because you're a Gemini.
Yeah, no,
We've got the same birth date, so I know that.
That's true.
Yeah, I always forget every year.
Gemini brothers,
and then
same.
And then it rolls around, and I'm like, and one of us goes, "Oh, it's my birthday on the 23rd," and then we're like, "Hey, yeah, it's my birthday too. I remember."
Yeah, what was it? I think I put up a post like, "Who's keen for a fucking B-Day weekend?" And you were like, "Oh yeah, remember?" And I was like, and no,
I forget every year too.
Legit. And no, was it Overlook was meant to coincide pretty close to it?
I think it was, yeah.
And you were like, you tagged me. I'm like, fuck, that's right.
yeah. That would have been mental, man. Overlook for a double birthday.
Oh, dude, could you imagine? Yeah. What did you do for your birthday? I know you did something.
I was here. I think we had the safe events guys.
Yep.
So like, you know, Waster and Shinobi Ray and Koya Dubs and Greenex and Sam. Yeah. So
cool.
It was all grime bass, drum and bass sort of, you know,
that would have
vibes all night. Yeah.
Filthy. What a filthy birthday.
It was good, yeah. So and I think I did a podcast earlier that day, I think.
That's right, yeah.
So I was already like pretty loose when they got here.
Yeah.
You know.
So you should be, sir.
Yeah. And they got here and I was like, oh, I'm already pretty loose, eh? And they're like, it's your birthday, bro. You better be loose.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
Have another drink. Have one with me. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you wake up sore the next day?
Oh, yeah. The next day was pretty rough.
Next
I didn't
2
even
days,
I didn't even remember. Like, all these ISO weekends have been just like merging into one sort of thing because... Because the only thing I'm doing is doing the podcast and the events and then working. So it's like every weekend is like sort of the same. Just here doing podcasts, then doing the event, heaps of beers. Like it's just...
You've basically taken the ritual of the valley and moved
it here. I've made my own little valley.
Legit, yeah. It's like, I feel that. To be honest, you know, I haven't done the same in regards to podcasts, but I've definitely been a lot looser than I would have liked to be in the last few weeks.
It's easy to just get loose at home too, you know. It's not like when you go out and it's first of all, it's expensive when you go out.
Yeah.
Also, you can get like cut off or kicked out.
Yeah.
And you've got to find a way home.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're at your house or here or wherever, it's like, it's BYO. I can drink as long as I want.
It's just reminded me of those high school days, you know what I mean? Where it was like high school, especially like after you graduate and that 17 to 18 year gap where everyone's clubbing.
That first sort of year.
Yeah, everyone's
it's all fresh
clubbing.
and new and everyone's so fucking like into it.
Yeah.
It's like every weekend religiously, like that's what you're doing.
Oh, bro, I've done a few like sneaky club sets, or not sets, club crawls when I was younger. But when I turned 18, my first ever Brizzy gig, Brizzy session, I suppose, was the Vic on a Thursday.
The Vic on a Thursday,
Bloody
oh god,
hell, man! Like my mate took me out.
Yeah.
Oh, my mate took me out, and he definitely didn't look after me. Like he just fed me drinks, and I blacked out at 10. Woke up in Edward Street, didn't even know it was Edward Street. Phone's flat, spewing myself. People asking me, "You alright?" Flatmate somehow picked me up.
Yeah.
Next night went to the Met for the first time.
That's the thing,
Friday.
you just back it up. Like you have a huge show like that, and then you just go, "Oh, let's do it again tonight."
Yeah, you have just this unlimited stamina.
Yeah.
And I got to a point. I think I remember it was like probably about a decent 6 weeks of 5 nights a week, like
Yeah.
Wednesday to Sunday. You
Is this because were you at uni?
uni
then?
as well.
Yeah,
It was egged on a lot, so it was
Yeah.
like on
Were you on
Wednesday.
college or anything, or just
Nah.
no?
No,
That would have been worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been told stories, man, of like
Yeah.
a few mates of mine who are on campus or
Yeah.
at college, and Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
like they wouldn't go out as much. It maybe be once a week.
Yeah.
But they'd still
Just
be
loose times
loose.
there.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like you have nowhere to hide. You
That's
know what I
it.
mean? Your dorm's
live-
down the.
And you're living with like 300 other people like your age, all like at
Yeah,
uni, like
yeah.
first time out of like, home and
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it's just like,
It's like I can drink and get wasted and don't have to worry about my parents catching me.
it's like,
What?
It's like, yeah, anytime.
Yeah, it's
anytime,
2 p.m.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's 7 a.m. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's exam day. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, the days. No, I've definitely. I'm not old, but I can definitely tell the difference between 18-year-old me.
Yeah, yeah. It's just that like everything's not as fresh and shiny and new.
Yeah.
You know, when you go out, you're like, oh, it's this again. I know what we're doing. Like,
The thrill of clubbing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna come back when everything reopens. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the thrill of clubbing is definitely. I wouldn't say gone, waned down.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, different.
We were just saying
perspectives,
before,
hey?
like you can go out now, and it's like you're more likely, like, to run into people you're gonna run into people you know. It's hard not to run into people you know. So it's like totally
Yeah.
different. Whereas when you're new, it's like you go out and it's almost like you're anonymous because you
Yeah,
don't know.
you've
You
got your
hardly
s-
know anyone except the
y-
people you're there with.
Yeah, you've got your squad.
Yeah.
And you've got a mission and it's your job to complete it. And
Yeah.
yeah, but especially I think once I started I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like that Friday when I went out when I was 18, that was the first and only time I've ever paid entry for the club.
Yeah.
I became a promoter like legit the next week. And like I suppose it doesn't really count as it does count as a job, but it's definitely still the partying aspect was there.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I moved into tech and DJing that I started seeing the Val as a different kind of scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
You still got loose, but it
Yeah.
definitely just shifted your perspective.
Yeah. You just know when to get loose.
Yeah.
It's like not all the time loose.
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah. Self-control.
I'll get loose. I'll make sure I'm loose by 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, but like I'm not going to be loose at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, like or
Yeah.
super loose.
Yeah.
Although we still all tend to do that
Yeah,
sometimes.
look, you've always
but
gotta-
you know when to do it and when not to.
Yeah,
Like,
and you've always got to step outside your comfort zone. Let's
Yeah,
be
yeah.
honest. But yeah, it definitely takes just 1 or 2 of those nights where you're like, I've overdone it. There's the line.
that's it. Now I know. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Mum was right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to push it too far when you're younger.
Oh, 100%. But no, it was cool. Like it was a different vibe for sure. But yeah, it's just things just changed, but not for the better nor the worse, just different. But it was good. I suppose like it was weird because I was so in the uni scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the start. And then kind of drifted out of that.
So where did
towards-
you used to go out when it was the uni scene? Because it's usually like places that have good drink specials and stuff. Everyone's poor at uni, like needs money.
Like if drinks are over $5 each, it's gonna take like an arm and a leg to convince the squad to go there.
Yeah.
Birdies is obviously the hot spot. I personally have kept my tally mark low on Birdies.
Yeah.
Nothing against the club; it's an awesome club, just not my music.
Yeah, yeah.
I've spent a few nights at the The Vic was one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Stockies on a Sunday, obviously.
Yeah.
But the Friday and Saturdays were like that was the off season for uni nights.
Yeah.
Uni peeps. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like we were
During the
saying,
week when it's cheaper drinks, you can go
Yeah.
out and get smashed. Yeah.
Yeah, and because like most of us weren't working full time, you know, we'd have part-time jobs that would probably be on the weekend too.
Yeah.
You'd just do the switch up, and yeah, cheap drinks were definitely a factor.
Yeah.
Oh, the
It's
factor.
how you get uni crowd in for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it was weird going from that to more of a because that's how I started going out and moving into, especially like working at the Met, moving into the more Friday Saturday night scene. You could say,
Yeah.
You know, you'd be less and less with the uni peeps and more with the clubbers.
Yeah, yeah.
And then transitioning from that into like the working side, I suppose.
Yeah.
Again, you know, still with the same crowd, but just look at it different. And you meet a heap of good people. You have some really good times, and it's just been fun to transition, I suppose. It's been cool to like go over across the spectrum
Yeah.
before I graduate and become part of the working class.
Yeah, that's it. Welcome to the workers. Get the economy going, mate.
Yes. On your ScoMo. Cheers.
Yeah. So what What DAW are you using? Just to touch back on production again, like, are you in Ableton? Is that what you're working
Devs.
on?
Yeah, that's what I started with. Funny story. I was always going to go with Ableton just because most of my mates used it. Accessibility. I've always heard good reviews.
Yeah.
I did mess around with FL 2019, whatever it was. It was like the free or cracked version, whatever.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get my head around it to start with.
It's a bit different, yeah.
Yeah. Looking.
Just the workflow, yeah.
Yeah. I feel Ableton's more linear. In its workflow, and it's more set out. Whereas with FL, it's more structured into like processing and like routing, sending. It's more of a, I like to say, like an analog style of
Yeah.
production where it's like you have a mix console in front of you, or you have like a synthesizer, or like like a modular system, whatever. Excuse me, but yeah. So I started with Ableton. The other main reason was me and Townsend. He comes up to me in the club one night, and he's like to me, "Wait, you're a uni student?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, hurry up, let's buy Ableton 10 because it just came out."
Yeah, because you can get the student price, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a uni student, aren't you?
Yeah, so obviously it was win-win.
Hilarious,
Win-win. Cheers for getting me into it, Townsend. Much love. So we did that. Got 40% off, and then because I had 2 access keys, we split it. Ended up being like $190 each for standard, like fresh,
That's
like
so
2
good,
weeks.
yeah.
And then I didn't touch it for like 3-4 weeks because I had exams.
Yeah.
And then finally like started messing around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my preferred choice.
Yeah. And it's been going all right. You sort of, what kind of tune, like, I know you said tech, like the deeper tech stuff, but how do you start? Like, I think it's interesting, like, how people start songs when they're like starting or when they're experienced. Like, what do you start with when you're starting a track? I'm going to find the bottle opener quickly. Keep talking.
Yes, that's all good. So at the moment, it's a bit of a weird process. I leave my kicks to last.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you start on? So you're working on like a drop first?
So
like,
I'll
what's
start
the
with a
vibe?
bass line.
Yeah.
This is if I'm doing an original, I'll start with a bass line. Because especially with tech, that's what drives the song.
Yeah.
I'll start with like the key and like the I'll get my do some kind of like chord layout, even though it's not much of a dynamic range with tech, but just a general vibe. Cheers, bro. Just a general vibe with that, and then I'll write the bass line, how I want it to sound. I'll then I'll mess around with the sound until I get close enough.
Yeah.
I've fell into the trap of tweaking my bass line for
forever.
years, and then at the end of it, I'm like, I don't even like it anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't like the bass line. Yeah. And you haven't even added the rest of the stuff to it.
I'm like,
what's
I'm
going
over
on?
it. Yeah. So I tweak it till it's close enough. Then, because I suppose coming from a drumming background, I'll go straight into percussion first.
Yeah.
Again, also, it's a very driving element of tech, which is why I start with it. And I'll just lay down the groove of the hats, the percussion, the clap, or the snare, whatever I'm using, and just get a general like feel of how the song's how it's gonna move, because it's very swingy.
Yeah.
So I'll just get that down pat. I'll then start tweaking the kick. I'll just maybe swap it out for something, or might add a layer. But then I'll get, obviously I'll tune it and then get that run. All right, sounds good enough as well. Then from there, I'll move into, from there, it depends. I'm in 2 minds. Sometimes I'll start with the vocal, but most times I'll then find a vocal to sit on top.
Yeah.
And start with that. And just kind of, do I want it to be like an actual song? Do I just want chops? Do I just want pre-drop? Whatever that is. Get that sorted. And then from there, this is all obviously in the drop. It's just the drop. And then from there, I'll start adding in my synths and my like instruments, you could say.
Yeah.
Because, and I learnt this when I just kept not getting anywhere, because tech's so ambient. You don't have a frontal sound that's the driving force that needs to be there all the time. I've learnt that you need to space your sound.
It's like you have the bass line just rolling,
That's it.
And then you have little sounds coming.
Yeah,
here
little
and there.
stabs, little whatever you want to have,
Yeah.
little elements. So I'll just kind of set out how attractive they want to be in the song. If that's how I describe it. Get that, and then get it to like 70%. Yeah, okay, this sounds right.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll duplicate it, like work it if I want to do 2 or 3 drops.
Yeah.
Duplicate it out for each drop.
Yeah. Do more arrangement stuff then.
Yeah, so just like duplicate it all out. Like the effects, I just use the same effects each time and then tweak them at the end because Siebes. But get all that sorted. Arrangement. How do I want it to like flow? Cull down the intro, the outro, and then the last thing I'll work on before I go in the tweaking process is my builds.
Yeah.
If I have one or two, because for me, the favorite part of the song is the build.
Yeah.
The breakdown into the build, for me, that just gets me off every time.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, a lot of people are like, what? I'm like, I love the drop. Don't get me wrong. Like, the drop's highly, highly there. But for me, like, I might have the most fun making the builds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll get that down to perfection about how I want that to sound.
Yeah.
How I want that to feel, what the kind of vibe with it is. And then from there, I was just going to the tweaking process.
Yeah, yeah.
Till it's like semi-done.
Yeah.
So I like tweak everything for like production-wise. I'll just add little elements to take out. I do like a carving process where I have too many sounds now. I like space them.
That's what I do too.
Yeah.
Too many lines, and you're like, I don't need that.
Yeah,
like, get rid of that. That plays too much.
Yeah,
It's playing too often. It just needs to play a little bit here and then not in the rest of it.
Subtleness is. I just keep repeating to myself. That's my mantra, being subtle.
Yeah.
And I'd rather cull down because it's how I do assignments as well. I'd rather have a large volume of stuff cull down rather than trying to build as you go. And then I'll mix down as I go, but I will do a really shit job because I just don't. It's a separate phase. I'll just get it so it sounds all right. I can get the general idea. Once I'm happy with it all, I'll take like a day off, do something different just to relieve the ears, and then I'll go down to my mix.
Get back to it,
and then just go down to the mix and work out how I want it to sound, where I want what where, and that's a whole nother beast as well. And I haven't learnt mastering yet, so I just put on a shitty master chain so I can play it in the club.
Give it a vibe, for sure.
And then I'll probably send it off to like a mastering engineer if I'm happy with it. So that's
cool.
And at the moment anyway, that's what I'm doing. It changes.
It always changes.
For sure.
And even from track to track, like it's I've just recently been trying to do like I usually will start with like drums and bass, and then get that going. But just recently I've started sort of maybe trying to start with pads or something like just different, just to change it up because it just ends up a different track because you're working on the pads and stuff first, or melody and sort of that kind of stuff.
Well, like linking in with that, like I haven't started a song with a vocal before. So I'll like the next song I have like when I do remixes, it's obviously that's different. But the next I siphon, so I'll go original remix just because I'm learning as well, and remix is a good
way to learn.
Excuse me. And then our next original that I'll work on will be a vocal led. So I'll start with it. And revolve the song around that.
Cool.
I mean, obviously with like the bass still being prominent, but just because because I've had trouble sometimes. Hey, like I'll get knee deep into a song, and then I'm trying to add a vocal, and nothing I can find fits. Or it's just not the vibe, and it just pisses me off. And then I just wipe the vocal, and then I'm just like, I'm just gonna do a full-blown European tech house track, no vocals, just evolving, and I'm just like, and then I'm like, and I know I need to learn how to use them, and I just need to get off my high horse and start with one, and it'll be learning curves.
And I see you're doing your mix series. We were talking before the podcast. And you do a bit of like vocal in terms of like interview stuff in there. So has that helped you with like working with vocals? Have you found like to process like audio and stuff? Vocal audio?
Most definitely. Like I think the biggest thing that it's taught me, other than how to record live audio, because it's not as simple as plug and play as I thought. Is compression. And understanding what it actually is. Like, I'm very scientific. I'm gonna, like I love my logical side as well as my creative side. You know, Geminis. You know how it is.
Definitely.
But so I just like most of the other effects and even the mix down, which is a bit more, I suppose you could say, in the nerdier side, like that comes to me pretty easily. Sound design's a whole nother beast. I'll target it in like, eventually.
That's something I think that comes slower.
A
lot more. Because it's sort of, it's sort of scientific and it's the mix of both. Whereas the other ones are like extremely one or the other.
Yeah,
Like
mixed
mixing is
in.
very scientific, sort of, and then you
Yeah.
know writing is very creative.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
but sound design is
design-
kind of both, like because you've got to experiment with things, and
Yeah.
a lot of the time, yeah,
Yeah, it's that middle ground. Hey, it defines or it makes the definition of a music nerd because you're literally a nerd and you love music.
Yeah.
If you're like if you know your sound design.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like compression. I just like, what is this? What is this shit?
yeah.
Like,
It's important with
you know,
vocal stuff. Yeah,
yeah, and everyone's like compression, and everyone's going on about like use the CLA2 because it's the best compressor. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't even hear the bloody difference. Like,
yeah,
and I just couldn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
And it's only been the last week or two, especially after the last recording I did. It's just like understanding what it actually does.
yeah,
And hearing that difference now.
Yeah.
You know, like my ears have just opened up to it.
yeah.
So yeah.
So many people don't know really what compression does. Like they
Yeah.
just chuck it on and like, oh, it makes it louder.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
and it's like
well,
turn the
yeah.
makeup off, but
Yeah.
you know, put the gain down A/B at first, and
Yeah.
then, but like, yeah, it was just one of those things. I was just like, what the fuck is this? And yeah, it was just like, especially because the mic I was using, it was a Rode condenser mic. I don't know what brand, what type model, sorry, but it was just borrowed off my mates.
Yeah.
But like because it was, you know, it was the gain I had to turn down and just to not make it so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So sensitive.
oh my god, it's just
Yeah,
sensitive.
you could put one over in the corner of the room and pick up the whole room if you wanted.
Mate,
like-
you could put it in the corner of the room and pick up my feelings from yesterday.
Yeah. Fucking oath, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like trying to like process them afterwards. And I was like, oh, it makes sense because it's a tangible thing, speaking.
Yeah.
And you know, you understand what dynamic range is from speaking. And then I'm like, oh, and then I just tried to put that onto sounds afterwards, and now I'm like, oh, and now I'm like, I hate the Ableton compressor. Like,
Yeah, get some good ones.
yeah,
What-
straight up.
Do you have any other like VSTs and stuff? Or are you mainly working in the box, or what do you work
Yeah,
with?
so like I kind of just put myself on this kind of ban from plugins at the start
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I knew the trap I'd fall into.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like don't use the tool if you don't know what it does.
Mm.
The only one I did like straight up off the bat would be span, Uling, loudness meter, just to like leveling and stuff like that because my ears were atrocious. They still are. And what was it? I think that was about it. And then just in the box.
Yeah.
But when I bought my new computer tower off Rob Enskell, Taglo, shout out to.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, brother. He left a bunch of plugins for me.
Oh, cool.
And like I was just, well, look, you know, I didn't like some of them still licensed. I'm like, oh, I don't care. At least I got a few. And now that I have a bit more knowledge, I've been working with him, and I'm like, oh my god, I can hear the difference. Fab
Yeah.
Filter Pro.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ!
That
like
stuff's awesome.
that
eh?
EQ is just
Yeah.
oh.
Are you got the Q3 or the Q2?
I think it's the Q2.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because the Q3's got the dynamic EQ in it as well, which is awesome. Yeah. It's real good. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one. I found out that because he has so many, but I was just
Yeah.
sifting through what I can and can't use.
Yeah.
And the LFO tool,
Yeah.
because like my side chaining, so I got side chaining pretty. I understood that was pretty straight up.
Yeah.
But you know, once I started to learn how to use an LFO tool, like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, it's just
Just makes it easier.
so much easier, and
Yeah.
you can just manipulate it to a little bit more how you like.
Yeah.
And it's just so like that's another one I use. There's just a saturation knob from I can't even remember now. I don't even know the brand, to be honest. It was just there.
Is it a one knob?
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
silver knob, the
Yeah,
silvery.
there's heaps of ones. It could be a soft tube one.
No, soft tube. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, and it's just like I noticed. It sounds so much warmer.
Yeah.
Than I still use the Ableton one for most, but
Yeah.
if I'm doing like group processing, if I really want to fatten something up, I'll use
Yeah.
that.
They just have different sounds.
Yeah.
This just sounds slightly different.
Yeah.
It's like two bits of analog gear.
Yeah.
They're not going to sound the same. Like they're
Yeah.
going to sound just a bit of different character and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what especially because the fact I've had this little like freebie box to use.
Yeah.
Is what I've like been able to realize is that these like plugins are plugins, right? And like, you know, unless you're Skrillex, you need to use them eventually.
Yeah.
But it's understanding what and how they work and all that kind of stuff. And the biggest thing was learning that the fact that each has its own character. So you may have 50 million plugins, but you're only going to use 7 because you like these. You've refined it down
you
to
like
these
the
tastes.
sound that they bring.
Yeah, exactly. What else? Now, that's about all I've used at the moment. There's a few other things I want to get into. He gave me the whole Waves bundle as well,
Yeah.
but I'm just trying to figure out how to get it.
So many good things in there. I'll
Oh.
give you a list of some cool shit.
Yeah,
Because when I got the Waves bundle, I was in the same boat. I was just like, there's so many. It's like,
it's ridiculous.
what's good? And I literally
What does
went
this
on my
even do?
face.
Like-
I just literally went on my Facebook and went, what's everyone's favorite Waves plugins in the bundle? And all these people are just like,
Bang, bang, bang,
this,
bang,
use
bang,
the
bang.
API like
Yeah.
2500 for like kick drums and basses, and like
Yeah.
use this, and like, so I got all these recommendations from
Yeah,
all these
sick.
people, and then just started going through and like having a look at them, and oh, that sounds really cool. And then once it's a new plugin that I've like gone, oh yeah, people have recommended it, it sounds really cool, finding tutorials on it then.
Yeah.
So it's like the other way of learning things. It's like
Yeah.
then you do a tutorial on that specific plugin as
Yeah.
well, and then it can sometimes just reinforce
Definitely.
things. Like even if it's just a new compressor, it's like doing a compression tutorial with that. It's
Yeah.
like sort of teaches you
just-
again
it adds that
compression, and it's like
1%.
that's right. It just reminds you of
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Coming from a teaching perspective, like that's a totally awesome
Yeah.
way to learn, especially for music, because it's saturated with just too much shit.
Yeah. How do you
Um,
find what you're gonna look
There's
for?
so
But
much
yeah.
shit, and there's so much free shit too. So it's like, what even domain do you want to go into
Yeah.
first? So going off recommendations, especially like local, and also like you have your world renowned plugins
Yeah.
and whatnot, is good because it just chops it down so much to what most people use. And yeah, look, everyone's like, you got to be different, but it's like these are tools. Like the difference comes in how you use them.
It's also like the combination, like you said before, you find the 7 that you like, and that's what makes you different, is because maybe you like using LFO tool for your side chaining, whereas I've more recently been using Kickstart, which is a
Yeah,
different side.
Nikki,
side
yeah,
It's a different one, but I've got LFO tool as well, so
Yeah.
it's like even those little tiny 1% differences,
Yeah, for
all
sure.
add up, and that's why your track would sound different to
Different to
mine,
yours, yeah.
because I've used this, thing for
Yeah,
for
exactly.
side chaining, and you've chosen that, and then you write a bass line with that synth, and I write it with mine, and then you use a different compressor to what I use, and that way it's like that's how you sort of
That gives it the variance.
yeah, that gives it. It's because it's all these little 1%ers that add up, and it's like, oh, you can't put your finger on what it is that's different between the two, but it's like they're like different sort of vibe.
100%. But as we were saying, like it's linking in with that, like it's about starting off in the right ballpark, you know, and that's what you get from recommendations, and you watch a few tutorials where they show you your plugins, and you start to see some common ones pop up and stuff like that. And yeah, like eventually I'll dive into the actual plugins realm. I feel like I'll probably be about 3 to 6 months down the track once I can, once I've got a proper like a better studio set up, stands, like a bit of a better room, like
Man, if you've got all the Waves bundle, there's plenty in there to
I
start
know,
looking through.
I know. I'm
There's
just trying to
so
find a
many.
work around the license. If I can get around that, then see you later.
Sort that out,
Man, I had to look through like on my folders on my Mac, and I was like, holy shit! Like it's just Christmas came early, boys.
Yeah.
The only other like the one pack I would really actually spend money on, and there's a reason for this, is the Sound Toys bundle.
Yeah, I was just gonna. That's the only one that I really want to.
Yeah. But I have 50% off for a uni student.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And this is my last year at uni, so I need to buy it soon.
Yeah.
So I think it's $250 for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is like amazing.
That seems cheap.
That is so cheap.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just kind of like that's the other thing too, because just like they're like the audio or the effects rack they have, Decapitator, Little Echo Boy, like
Decapitator, Little Echo Boy is so good. Crystallizer's really cool.
Yeah,
too,
I've heard too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've seen like I read through like the reviews, and obviously reviews are reviews, but like a few top notch artists, saying what they like about each aspect, and it's like even the ones you don't want but you're just getting in the bundle are just waiting for you to open up and have a play around.
And you're like, oh, that's cool. Like you come up with something. With
it. I remember the reason why that sticks out to me too is it was a few years ago. The Met was doing like production classes with DJs who were coming in.
Yeah, cool.
The first one was with Low 99. I hold him in high regard. Talented artist, and also just a super cool bloke.
Yeah, I've known Paul from way back,
he's
man. Back in the family when he was at Family. It was
because he had
used to be Paul Deluxe.
Yeah,
that used to be his.
No, Low 99.
Oh, Low 99. No, you're talking about Brian.
Yeah. What was his alias? No, alias. What was Tom Piper? Tom Piper? Was it? No, not Tom Piper. That's
I think it was Tom Piper.
Maybe.
Tom Piper. Tom Piper Fresh used to be his like one of his like names.
his earlier
Yeah.
before he swapped over.
It was
yeah.
Tom Piper. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was thinking of Lowdown. Not
That's right. I can see the
no.
resemblance
Too
there.
many lows in the name.
Yeah. Everyone's just getting low.
Yeah.
He like the one thing that stood out because I had no idea what production was, so I
Yeah,
didn't even
yeah.
take in anything from there. But I was smart and wrote down all the plugins he was talking
Yeah.
about, and he just said Decapitated Echo Boy, and then he said just buy the Sound Toys bundle.
Yeah,
to be
Sound
honest.
Toys
And
is
I just
so
went
good.
through my notes from like last year,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh shit, like
got to get that.
yeah, if he's pretty up there.
Yeah,
He's like definitely in the scene. He like in the scene. He like he's a respectful artist and he knows how to make tunes.
yeah.
So it's like Defs, and I've just got to jump on that. It's something I've really wanted to buy for a while, but I don't have fixations. I'll probably just I've done like a top 10 free VSTs, and there's some really good like
There's heaps of cool free
Spitfire
stuff.
Lab,
Yeah.
like they're like free
Yeah.
plugins that they can give is just like ridiculous. The
Yeah.
samples you get with it.
Yeah.
Then you go to the other end of the spectrum. I saw this it was like I think it's just a samples pack, or maybe it's within a synth. I don't know. I just remember seeing this like promo email, and it's the BBC or BBC Radio One. The BBC Orchestra, I think,
Yeah.
or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like the orchestra for like BBC. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. And they did a full recording session and have like all these samples that
Yeah.
are like probably
Orchestral stuff. Yeah.
oh you just jizz yourself if you listen to it.
Yeah.
But it costs $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
it.
like, when you're like, I'm not Calvin Harris yet, so it's
Yeah,
like
you don't need that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I could just imagine how like good that would be when you're
Because
like,
you just got to put the sample in. It's like, oh, it sounds sweet. You know, you
Don't
don't
gotta
have to
touch
do
it.
anything.
You don't
to
have
it.
to
Yeah, you
touch
just chuck
it.
it in. It's like, there's your strings.
yeah,
There's-
legit. There's your whole track. Like you could just make a track from the orchestra,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, oh. But yeah, it's like that in the spectrum. Like I could see the value. I see why it's expensive. The markup's obviously ridiculous, but like I'm not like that realm of because like for me it's like if I'm buying a plugin or if I'm using a plugin, why am I using that over Box? What's Ableton or whatever?
Yeah.
Why am I using this? What does it give? What's it gonna? Why? What's the purpose of it? I'm
Yeah.
very much driven by meaning, which also like reflects in my songs as well.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But yeah, it's a rabbit hole. I'm just teetering on the edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We're thinking of getting the Plugin Alliance, like full bundle. Like it's like a subscription. I think you pay like it's like $300 a year or something like that, and you literally get every plugin that Plugin Alliance has, and they do like all they do all different branded ones.
Yeah, that's massive.
So we're thinking of me and Johnny going halves for in
Is
here.
it 2 access keys with it?
Yeah. So we're gonna go halves, me and
Bro,
Johnny
like
into
you
this, so.
add up how many there are, how many of them you'd buy, and you work out how many years you'd be on the
Yeah.
subscription for, and it would work out way cheaper.
Yeah.
Like way cheaper.
And then, but the thing is with the subscription is you also get like a $250 credit to buy a synth.
Oh,
So if you keep doing it every year, if there's one that's like sick, you can just
I
buy
want that
it as
yeah,
well.
I want
And so
that.
it's like after a few years of doing it, you'll be like, oh, now I own like all the mad ones that I wanted to buy anyway.
Yeah,
So
that's insane. I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy good.
it's only pretty. I think it's only the last year they've been doing it.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah. Everyone going to the subscription model, these days.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, Splice have just like coming from talking business now.
Yeah,
Splice have like fucking dominated with their rent to own.
Yeah.
Like that's why I bought Serum. Oh, that was the other one. Sorry,
Yeah.
Serum, obviously straight up. Just because I know it's more for like bass and wavetables and
Yeah.
whatnot, and I can hear the difference. Like I got Massive like on
Yep.
within the tower as well, and obviously it's I can hear the difference between the two now. But that's why I went to Serum straight up because it was rent to own. It's like it's a no brainer, bro.
$10 a month.
$10 a
or whatever
month.
it
It
is,
took
yeah.
me a year and a bit to pay off.
Yeah.
It's like fuck all.
And then you own it. You don't have to.
You've
pay
got it.
anything,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they've got heaps of others on there and whatnot.
I'll give you a good tip for basses for sort of tech house stuff
Yeah.
is Rob Papton Subboom bass.
Mm.
It's awesome, man. Like
Yeah.
it's the best for just nice, smooth
Analog,
bass lines,
crispy.
analog sounding sort of.
I want
bass
that.
lines,
Love
yeah.
that real crisp bass. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
It's
just
what
real crisp.
if you know Needs No Sleep, Mitch,
Yeah.
that's what he uses on all
Yeah,
his
his bass lines are
Yeah.
Like they're so warm, I'd wear it as a blanket.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what he uses. I don't know if I'm meant to tell anyone that. I'm sure it's not a secret. Sorry, Mitch, if it was. I'm sure it wasn't. But yeah, that's like I've been using that one for ages too. I'd actually forgotten about it. Like I had it ages ago and used to use it, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, that's what I use," and I was like, "Oh, I've actually got that plug-in. I just haven't used it in like 2 years."
Yeah,
Like,
truly. The other thing synth I've been told that's like amazing for warm basses is Diva.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been told
Heaps
it's
of
just,
classic sort of housey analog sounds as
yeah,
well. Yeah.
even like there's Jonas Aiden, I think, on YouTube.
Okay,
I only found him on YouTube as like for tutorials.
Yeah.
That's how good his marketing is. But he's been like signed to Spinnin'. He's been signed to like Hell Deep. He's
Yeah.
been like
Heaps
he's
of big
done collabs with
international sort of
Mogwai and
labels and
whatnot.
stuff,
Yeah, he's got like massive tracks out with people and
Yeah.
whatnot. And he like froths Diva. Like I swear, every episode or every video he does, there's a mention of Diva somewhere.
Yeah.
And I had one of my mates for like a production session, and I was just chilling out, and he like pulls up Diva, and I was like, oh my god, it's like so warm.
Yeah.
But it's expensive as shit, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. But like, yeah, it's just like I don't know. I'm still new. I'm only 9 months into
Yeah.
it. Into production.
That's
but
why
I'm
it's exciting.
I know.
Everything's fresh and new.
I
It's like what
know.
you were talking
yeah,
about.
exactly.
Like,
I'm the
you're
18-year-old at the
17,
moment. Yeah,
18-year-old,
yeah, straight up. Yeah,
Straight into
100%.
production. Yeah.
I'm just starting to notice the difference now,
Yeah.
which is good. And I'm just like, even like hardware too. Like I'm just like,
Because at the start you're just trying to figure out how things work
what
and where
what is
things
this?
are.
What
yeah.
is
And
music?
then eventually it's like, all right, now I know how to get around in the DAW. I can write a basic track. Like I know what everything kind of does.
Yeah.
And then you can start really.
Now
sort
you
of
start to
getting into it.
finesse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's been like it's cliche as fuck, but it's like you get to about 80%, after a few years, and then it's just the little things, like you said, those 1%ers that get you up
Yeah.
to those 90s and hundreds, and
Yeah.
that's what pushes you up. But yeah, no, definitely, it's awesome. It's an awesome experience. It's something that's challenged me too. Like I've had my like tantrum moments and shit. Like, as everyone has, bro.
Why
Like,
isn't this working? Why does it
fuck's
sound worse?
sake, like
You like listen to it, and then you listen to like before you started what you had, and you're like, sounds worse.
Yeah.
What have I
Yeah.
done?
And then
Sounds
you really
worse.
want to kick yourself in the balls, so you go listen to a track.
But then you look at it and it's like you change like one setting on something, and you're like, oh, it sounds way better now. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like one knob that you've just pushed too far or something. and
Yeah,
then
you
you're like,
just pull it back.
oh,
You're
it was
like,
so
oh,
easy. Like, yeah.
I was just too angry.
Yeah.
You know how they say don't drive when you're angry, don't
Yeah.
produce when you're angry.
Yeah. Unless you're making something real heavy, I guess.
Yeah, unless you want to make some filthy dub or
Yeah.
like a hectic
Just
thing.
a rhythm track or something. Just
Yeah.
Get the right in that fucking
No, that's
aggressive mode.
after 3 days on a bend. Are you serious? That's when you write a rhythm track. Come on, boys. Everyone has been at that state of kick-ons when you're like, fuck
Yeah.
it, put on some rhythm.
Yeah.
You'll regret it. It's like watching that really dark porno that you shouldn't have watched, but fuck, it was good at the time, wasn't it?
yeah. Fucking oath. Fucking oath. So how did you start in music then? I heard you mention earlier that you were a drummer. Is that like what your first thing was in music at all? Like maybe when you were younger or something?
Yeah. So, how I started was year 5. I remember this vividly. It was like music auditions for like playing an instrument or whatnot. I really wanted to play the trumpet. I don't know why.
I played the trumpet.
Fuck you. No menace there.
Yeah. No.
Secretly, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Played the trumpet.
Yeah, just stop. All right,
Yeah,
Timmy
yeah.
Trumpet, settle down.
Yeah.
No, I'll move on from that. Yeah, I've moved on. But yeah, so
You're over not playing the trumpet now?
no. Well, because then I went for the sax next, and I got denied for that.
Oh, you got denied.
Anything melodic, bro. I swear the teacher was just
They're like,
saying,
nah, you got no
you've
tone,
got
bro.
fuck all
You're
tone.
tone deaf, bro.
yeah, you're tone deaf is a compliment to you. Like,
Yeah.
And then I tried. What did I try next? I can't even remember what I tried next. It was something. I think I went as desperate as the flute. No offense to flute players, it's a sick instrument. But
Wait, shout out Roger G on the flute. Have you seen that flute?
Oh
thing
yeah,
of
I
him?
have. Are you serious? Why isn't he in the like symphony?
Yeah,
Can
he
I
should
see him
be.
at the con? When is he playing at the con?
Roger G.
Oh, brother. Yeah, and then the music teacher just said, "Go jump in the drums." And I was like, "All right," and just had
Go hit things.
Yeah, go hit things. And he was like, I think it was a last ditch effort because Let's be honest, guys. We all know it. Like, we've all, if you're fucking shit at music, you end up playing the triangle. Like,
the triangle.
you know what I mean?
Ding.
Like, it's like you can, but there's a less chance of fucking that up
Yeah.
than, playing a sax or whatever. And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I jumped on the kit, and he was like, oh, you actually have pretty good rhythm. We'll stick with
Yeah.
it. And that's, yeah. So from year 5, I started playing drums, and yeah, just been playing with school bands, all the way up until the end of grade 12, like obviously through school.
Yeah.
I did a bit of session drumming, so I
Mm.
just kid in a studio. I just chill there.
Do you ever do much jazz stuff with
Yes,
drumming?
trust me.
I love jazz
Trust me.
drumming, like because it's so different to a lot of the other like styles. Because like jazz
Yeah.
drumming can have a bit more like
Yeah, so
flexibility, and like you can add your own little like cool like swung riffs and
man.
stuff. Like
oh man, like you've punched the hole early. So I used to do session drumming, but I used to play jazz and ensemble, but jazz was my favorite. And when I did session drumming, I do just your normal rock pop shit.
Yeah.
For those who don't know session drumming, basically you sit in a studio on a drum kit, and then people come in and give you sheet music and say, do my backing drums.
Yeah.
They record it. It's part of their song.
Yeah.
Basically, if you don't have a drummer. But I do like just whatever. But, my forte was funk, blues, soul, and jazz.
Yeah, sweet.
So, yeah. Which,
it's exactly what I was just talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you know me too well, mate.
Yeah.
Us Geminis, mate.
Yeah. Just know it. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been my forte. Like, I'm not as much into jazz as I used to be, as in I don't research as much into it. I used to be right into I listen to it all the time. When I was heavy into drumming, like electronic music, I wasn't the kind of guy who was like, oh, it's electronic. I didn't have prejudice against it. It was just very minimal in my listening category. Most of the stuff I listened to in high school was like 70s psych rock. So Zeppelin are like my go-to band. Rest in peace, John Henry Bonham. Beatles, even the drummer for the Beatles, he's just wicked. And then I started moving, like obviously Hendrix, whatnot, like Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, one of the best albums ever written. Like that's kind of so started in that golden age of rock, psych rock. Moved into the 80s and 90s realm. I've got a sick story to tell you about AC/DC later on. We'll save it for later on.
We'll save it for later.
It's sick. It's cool. And then not much. I went into a little bit of the modern stuff. One of the few modern artists I like is James Bay. His acoustic, like guitar, his songs are just like used to be right up my forte, and yeah, that was me, man. I remember I went through this phase. It was 6 months straight. It was nothing but Zeppelin. I did not listen to a single song other than Zeppelin for 6 months. It was ridiculous. And then after within the end of year 12, definitely mid to end of year 12, I started progressing more into electronic music.
Yeah.
I went for spinning straight away, but it wasn't spinning, it was spinning deep.
Yeah. Okay,
so that's the kind of like...
Slightly different. Yeah, it's one of their sub...
Yeah,
labels,
they're more deeper, houseier
yeah.
stuff. Watermat Bullet was one of like my fave tracks back in the day. Route 94, My Love, is one of the few tracks I play every set. Like just those like real, like, you could call it cheese, but they're just classic.
Yeah.
And then... yeah, I suppose towards the end of year 12, it didn't die off, but it started swapping in the ratio of how much older to modern music I listen to.
Yep.
Flume is one of the biggest artists who definitely pulled me through all the way through high school and still to this day.
Yeah.
He's one of my biggest inspirations. I don't know. I could do a whole podcast on him, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's again for another day. And then just after once I moved to Brisbane, because I was living on the Gold Coast at the time when I finished school. Once I moved back,
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
you're down in Goldie.
Yeah, Goldie boys. Southport rep 4209 Coomera, shout out. And then went to when I went clubbing, I suppose, was when it really pushed it forward for me, because I wasn't like, I haven't been into electronic music since day dot. It's definitely since, cliche as, definitely since when I've been 18. I've been into music for a while, but it wasn't the electronic scene.
Yeah.
I suppose it was just it was a lot of things. It was the club. And for me, like, now that, like most people know, I do lighting and visuals at the club, or used to. And like that whole element captivated me. The whole like just scene captivated me.
Yep.
And obviously the music, listening to it, because I've always loved a good audio system. Like
Yeah.
listening to it at the club, just
No,
really.
wait till we turn this on later. Have you
Yeah,
got tunes
baby.
like online we can listen to or something? With you?
Yeah,
That we can
yeah.
have a squiz of later.
I've got a few
Yeah, cool,
unreleased.
cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll fire it up later. Yeah, keep going.
Beautiful. Yeah, and yeah, that was it. That was when it just kind of tipped me over. And that's when I started progressing more into DJing. Started off with virtual DJ on the laptop.
The old virtual DJ. So many people started on virtual DJ
Bro,
on the laptop.
if you haven't, you lied.
Yeah, I didn't, but yeah, I started on Tractor. I started on Tractor. Yeah,
real.
Yeah, back in the day.
True. How long were you on that for? Because it's like I don't know. You could say it's a cult nearly. Like it's its own scene.
This was back in
You'd have to bring your own decks if you went anywhere.
2008. I had like this shitty controller, and the thing is, back in the day, all the controllers, nothing was mapped. Like when you bought a controller, it wasn't like you just plug it in and all the buttons do the things.
You'd have to
program.
map it
You'd have to
yourself.
be like, all right, that's the play button. You'd like go into the settings on Tractor and go,
Yeah,
all right, when
wow.
I want it to be play on the left deck, and then press the learn MIDI, and then press the button, and then turn the
true.
learn off, and then all right, so now that button's mapped, and you have to
Retro.
go through and map everything.
Yeah,
So
wow.
like, Tractor was like good for that, like to be able to just do that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I've heard it's definitely like good for if you want to customize.
Well, now you can just plug in like your laptop with USB into the back of the CDJs if you want, and it just all works. Like it's all mapped now. You know, you just plug it in and it works. Like, and it works really well. But yeah, like back in the day, it was not like that at all. Like everything had to be mapped.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Retro, I like to say. Retro.
And the controller I had was like so shit looking, so plasticky, and like, yeah. I'll put a photo of it up here for everyone.
Yeah, please.
In the podcast.
Please.
Here.
I want to see it too.
Yeah. It's not here. It's at my house. But
is it in a frame
no,
on your wall?
I can still use it, but
do you pay people to see your museum or what?
So now that yeah, it's that old. But I took it to New Zealand like a couple of years ago, because I was like playing a mate's wedding over there, and I was like, well, I'm not going to hire decks over there, and I'm clearly not going to take CDJs like in a coffin case over there. So it's just like this little controller I could put in a backpack, and like, because it's so old and I've used it at so many gigs and I've like spilt so many drinks.
I was about to say, bro, you get drunk smelling it.
Man, I had to like, it's like the left fader didn't work, so I turned like the crossfader, remapped that to be the left fader. Like, you know what I mean? Like I had to remap all these like knobs and buttons to do things. It's like, because the bass EQ knob doesn't work. All right, I'm gonna like change one of the filters to the bass EQ knob. So it's like it was like full like custom, like just gone nuts. Yeah, it was hectic, man. That old gear. Man, old MIDI shit, man.
It'd be fun though. Like not at the time, but looking back now,
it is
like,
fun.
Just for a bit
there's no platters. The platters don't do anything. So that to go nudge forwards and backwards, it's a plus and minus button. So if you want to nudge it, you got to go plus. Like press the plus button to like nudge it.
Tell you what, your beat matching would be supreme off that.
Yeah, but it's different than when you go to like a deck, because the thing is like you know you can hold the plus button down and it'll like nudge it, or you can like press it and it'll like keep nudging it.
Yeah.
And then when you go to decks, it's totally different because it's a different feel and like how much it nudges.
And you know, like especially with like the 2000s when the Nexus is.
Yeah.
I think it's in the 2000s where you got the adjustable
like
vinyl spin controller, whatever it's called. Which, you know, like
it's like the resistance on the deck.
So
you can like spin it when it's real loose and it'll like
it's cool to like play after people, or just in general when you rock up to a set of decks. It's like
see how they have it set up.
What? Yeah. How? And I've had fuckers like right up to the right where it's like you have to fucking like work out to be able to pull the thing. Like it's like resistance training because the deck doesn't want to move.
Yeah.
You have other people who are like completely the opposite, right to left, where like you breathe on it and this thing's gonna pull you out of beat like by 6 bars.
I just always set it to 12 o'clock. I've just always done that, just like 12.
Is that yours?
Straight
You
on,
love 12?
Just 12, just straight in the middle, because then it's like it doesn't matter where it is or whatever. You just go middle.
See, I always
unless I want to do big spin backs, then I'll like turn.
Oh
it so
yeah, bro. But that's the satisfaction. That's the satisfaction when you're just about to do it and you're like, oh baby, it's coming.
Yeah.
No, I always love a 2 or 3 o'clock, depending on the deck, depending how old the deck is, how crusted with alcohol it is.
Yeah.
I love about a 2 to 3 because I love to just feel the spin of the deck.
Yeah.
But at that like 2 to 3 o'clock mark, it's not too heavy where it's like,
Yeah.
it's just enough where I can tap.
Yeah.
But like I really overspin. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I just put it about like a 2 to 3, and that way I can just play with it, and I can put my fingers and like adjust really like
Yeah.
the finesse of it is a little bit less because I don't know, like for me, like once I got a beat mash, see you later. These modern decks, bro. Like you don't I mean, if Paris Hill can DJ, like
Yeah. Can she though?
have you seen that video or that photo?
It'd just be all sync everything if she is.
Bro, I don't. It's not her, but it's this like fucking DJ at this festival. It's like this fit chick, obviously, and the overhead cam.
I've seen that, and it's just one channel playing.
Yeah,
there's not even any other channels, and she's like
all
it's
the
mixing
others, all the others are Pioneer.
Yeah,
and it's just the USB. I think there's another one too where like none of them are up. It's all just got like black screens or the Pioneer logo, like the start screen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I swear they're just playing the sound through like the mix console or whatever. Like she's just full like
up there doing nothing.
Jesus, Mary of Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's so easy to DJ now. You know what I mean? Like the equipment.
No, that's
like,
the thing.
And it's like, why don't you just learn how to do it?
We were chatting, me and Weeds, because we lived together. We were chatting. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, I don't know. He said one of our friends like just. She started DJing as well, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, like I don't mind people starting it, and kudos if you actually want to DJ. Like, I'm sorry for being, prejudiced against you straight away, but if you haven't had that musical passion to start with, at some degree, and then you want to become a DJ, it's like, all right, whatever. But
it's like, why do you want to be a DJ?
Yeah,
what's the motive?
You just want to build.
Do you want to be the cool person
do you
in the
just
club,
want to build your
what?
Insta followers, or like, do you actually want to, grind, or, like, again, each to their own. I don't mind. I'm not like, I am like guessing a little bit, but the point I'm trying to say is like it's so easy to DJ these days, and I tell everyone that, especially people who don't DJ and give me shit, and they're all like, why do you DJ? I'm like, look, you know what? Like, and I say this to everyone, it's easy to DJ. It's hard to DJ well.
Yeah.
You have to, it's easy to DJ. It's hard to DJ well, and only the best can DJ excellently.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm definitely not at the excellent level.
Yeah.
Shit, no. Like, I'm talking respect to like old school vinylists and actual DJs. Like, I would not put myself on that standard.
Yeah.
I think I'm a fairly competent DJ with the modern equipment, but you hand me a set of vinyls and I'd still be like, holy, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So
I could play a set on vinyl, but it wouldn't be like an awesome set.
Yeah, it'd be
I could beat match it. It would be like in and outs at the end of tracks, like you know, like doing that kind of thing.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be like I'd be like double dropping and doing like mad, like build ups and breakdowns. and stuff.
And that's what I say to people too. I'm like, cheers, brother. Is there any left?
Yeah. I've got more in the.
Oh, look at you! You're prepared. Oh no, we've got in there. Yeah, I tucked it away in there. Yeah, it's got its own little hole.
I couldn't find it earlier. That's why I used that.
Look at you, retro. But I'll just finish this.
Yeah.
I just really I really want to stress this to people. Like, it's like, it using modern equipment. The best thing about it, right, is you can have so much creative fun.
Yeah.
And if you just want to play a track with a few effects, fine. As long as it's a well-sounding mix, I don't care. Like, but the beauty of it, and you don't have to do this, but it's just that, for me, this is how I suppose not guilt trip myself. I just say like, I have the buttons in front of me. I may as well try and not overdo it, but may as well do something with it because it's there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with vinyl DJing. It's more in like the art of scratching, the art of mixing, the art of, I'm flicking or whatever, like flicking between songs or like, I'm
beat
talking
juggling or whatever.
I'm talking out of my league here, obviously.
Yeah, beat juggling and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
DMC type stuff.
Yeah, A-Track when he was a kid. Like,
that's a dope video.
Oh,
no one's seen that when he was 17 and he won the World DMC Championships.
A-Track, was it 17?
He was 17.
DMC Championships.
And he won the World DMC Championships.
This motherfucker was is cooler then than I'll ever be. Probably than me and you will be in our lifetimes combined.
Yeah,
probably most people in the valley combined.
Yeah, like, the whole of Brisbane.
Bro, he is just like the definition of a DJ. But yeah, it's like if you've got the buttons in front of you, just have fun with them. It's like that's what I say to people, especially when people like talk shit about tech house and how easy it is to mix.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, don't get me wrong, it's easy. It is easy to mix. It's probably the easiest genre to mix.
Yeah.
Like, as in, if I just said, here's some songs, go mix these, you could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
But that's what I say to people. I'm like, that's not the point of like tech house mixing, like DJ mixing.
Yeah.
The point of it is to be creative with the way you want to transition,
What you want to do, yeah.
what you want to do with your songs, how you want your mix to sound.
Yeah.
And that's where you get like a cool banging set. Yeah, it's boring to mix if you're not having fun with it.
Yeah.
Do you know
But
what
the
I
thing
mean?
is, like you were saying as well, like, tech house, there is a lot of diversity within tech house.
Oh, yeah,
You've
especially
got like
nowadays.
you've
too,
got, like
yeah.
you said, like the Fisher sort of cheesy style, and then you've got like, the camel fat and the sort of deeper styles, and then you've got like the weird dirty bird styles.
Yeah.
And then you've got like Tool Room and Defected sort of like styles and
Man, like, honestly, like, it's like techno, where techno has so many subgenres, it's not funny.
Yeah.
And even those subgenres have subgenres. And tech house is technically a subgenre of house.
Yeah.
But even then, tech house is now its own genre.
Yeah.
And it has subgenres. Like,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like the label, the biggest thing I find with tech is that the labels really determine the subgenres.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like I said, there's
Yeah,
a Dirty Bird
yeah, like you
style,
were saying, exactly.
and then there's like Defected, sort of have
You
their
could
more
literally-
disco-y style, and then
Yeah,
Tool Room,
Yeah,
and
you could
that
go like
European.
Little Ball for your defected, disco-y stuff. Sorry, like you could literally organize your tech playlists by label, and
Yeah.
you'd be fully functioning.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. Like and obviously, like, I'm not gonna get into the can of worms about Fisher, but he's definitely blown the scene up heaps.
Yeah.
And it's definitely just made it able to actually like expand into these. So, and it's not like they all sound the same, which I'm like, thank
yeah.
fuck. Like,
Yeah,
they're
they're all different.
they've all got their own vibe, and it's just cool. It's just cool. It's just cool. It's just cool.
That's why I love like doing a tech house set where I go through all of those different like labels and stuff, because then
Yeah.
it's like it's like a journey of tech house.
Yeah,
Like it's like there's
yeah.
different vibes.
Welcome,
from
kitty.
different
Sit
things.
down.
Yeah,
Let me tell you a
Yeah,
story.
Let's play some tech house. Yeah.
No, for sure. All right, I'll ask questions here. What's your favorite label then?
I'm always
I'm actually curious though. What is your
I'm
favorite
actually a
label?
huge Dirty Bird fan. Like I just love all that
damn.
weird stuff.
Weird.
And I've really loved lately Country Club Disco.
Bro, are you in one of their groups on
Yeah, yeah.
Facebook? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They've got some whack shit, hey. It's nice, man.
Yeah.
It's good. It's different. It's like Dirty Bird, but it's a little bit groovier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you on their promo list?
I know I'm not on the promo list, but I know I'm in the
Dude,
group.
Hit them up.
Yeah, I'll
I literally
message
just
them.
messaged them.
Yeah, true.
And then like a minute later they sent me an email. I
Yeah,
just sent them
wow.
an email and said, "Hey, can I get on your playlist? I play at like some clubs just so I can follow your music, stay up to date, and drop your tracks and stuff."
Yeah,
and they
dope.
were just like, a minute later, I had an email reply with like an invite link to the
Yeah,
promo
sick.
list, and I was like,
That's mad.
"Just
'Cause-
do it, man. Hit them up."
Yeah, I will.
So
Definitely.
easy. So
They
easy.
seem so like down to earth, bro.
Yeah.
Their like promo strategy is off chops.
Yeah.
Like talking business again.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
fuck me, man. Like they've done it well. They've nailed it on the head. Hey,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the group, the way they run the group, the way they promo. Like, oh, dude, it's so good. Like
Yeah.
it's so kudos to them. They're hustling. They're
yeah,
hustling.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What about so we're talking about how you got into music. What was your first gig? Like DJ gig?
Oh shit. Here we go. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's multiple answers. The first proper gig,
Yeah.
like where I've played in front of a live audience, would have been a house party with Luke Goz. Shout out for inviting me that night. It was on the sunny coast. We don't know how many people rocked up, but there were a fair few.
Yeah.
I reckon probably about 100 plus.
Yeah.
At least.
So good house party.
Yeah, it was decent.
100 people at a house party is good.
Oh yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good
man.
house
They had
party,
the
yeah.
land for it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah. I've helped. Okay, side note. When I was living in Stanthorpe, which was before I moved to the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
We
Fucking Stanthorpe. It's cold out there.
I love it, mate. Are you serious?
Oh.
Suits my soul.
So cold, yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, I didn't DJ because I didn't know how to DJ. I did drums there, like play with a band.
Yeah.
And help set up some tech, for like speakers and stuff for the night. But we had 1,000 people there in a barn, in a literal barn.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, it was just because it's 150 kilometer radius of fuck all. So
Yeah. Everyone, come to the barn.
yeah,
Come
legit.
to the
That was
barn.
it, bro. And just people were driving like 2-3 hours. Yeah.
That'd be a sick name for a venue, like
The barn.
The barn.
The barn. Where you going? The barn.
Hey, let's go to the valley to the barn.
Yeah.
And it's just this
like
big barn.
and
Hay
the-
bales everywhere.
yeah,
It's a
legit.
fire hazard just waiting to happen.
Yeah, or synthetic, but still.
Yeah.
No, at least it'll burn down
smoking
properly.
durries and
Yeah.
just like throw it.
Yeah. Smokers is just no hay bales.
Yeah.
It's
It's like a concrete. It's just a concrete
concrete den.
concrete den.
With, like,
yeah,
little-
with no roof.
No, yeah, and like little gutters of like holes where you flick your cigarette.
Yeah.
And it just pops down to this little tray that they empty out, like, because it's a barn. You know what I mean?
All right, we got to do this. If you want to invest, if there's any angel investors out there
Yes,
that want to get
please.
involved, the
It's-
barn, we're going to start it.
This is the prime time to do it. Once ISO's over, you'll be making your money back in a week.
If you've got a barn in the valley.
yeah.
I don't know
please.
that would be anywhere. But
I'm sure, like the Triffid or the Tiv would like go through a name change, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but then you got to build a barn.
Oh. Yeah, and like the
Yeah.
more drunk you get, it goes from barn to barn.
Barn.
It's not even the barn. It's barn.
At the front, they can sell Vietnamese pork rolls that barn meat. Later in the night, I'm like, can I have a barn meat?
Yeah, barn.
Fuck, yeah.
Anyway.
First gig.
Yes.
Pull it back. Pull it back into what we're talking about.
Bro, I'm tangent central here.
First gig.
Yeah, so yeah, it was at Sunny Coast. Played off the back of his ute. Like it was
Yeah,
pretty.
sick.
Yeah, it was sick, bro. It was cool. That was the first like gig in front of live people.
Yeah.
At the time, I only had about 2 months DJing experience. I bought DJ SX2s off Gumtree. Shout out to whoever that Gumtree person was.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it. Like I only had like 2 months experience. I thought the set went well. Looking back to my foggy drunk memory, it probably didn't.
Yeah. If you just remember, like when the track comes, like when it's actually just the track,
Just the
and
drop,
not the
bro.
mixing,
Yeah,
not the
nah,
mix parts. You're
mixing?
Like,
What
"Yeah, it
is
was cool.
mixing?"
I played some cool tracks.
Yeah. How did I get there?
Between them wasn't too good. Yeah,
Mate, it's just little things, eh?
yeah,
Nah.
yeah.
But yeah, it was probably shit. And then, literally 2 months later, so I had 4 months DJing experience. My first set was Met Coco. Yeah, I was like, bro.
How'd you sort that out?
Because I was promoting there, and I was promoting there for
Yeah,
about
okay.
2 years total,
Yeah.
roughly by that time.
So you've done your dues. You've given,
A little bit,
you paid
yeah.
your dues a bit,
I was
yeah.
lucky. I got bumped up to head Syndrome promoter back when we were doing Syndrome.
Oh,
the
Syndrome,
house.
yeah.
Yeah, so they just thought I could do a good job, and I was like, sweet, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Because it was house music orientated, they gave me Pete Smith actually, before he left the Met. He gave me my first ever set at a club. So shout out to Pete Smith. Respect. Thank you so much for that. And I tell you every time.
Yeah.
And yeah, first set was a train wreck. It was
Yeah.
absolute shit. Like I was playing like Heavy Green Velvet at 9:45.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like
yeah, 9:45.
9:45. It's borderline techno. Like Billy Kenny's getting thrashed at 10 p.m. Like,
Yeah.
like the shit's so heavy that like I swear I started attracting people from the bass scene.
Yeah.
Like it was.
It's like, oh, is this gonna be the whole night? Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be even heavier.
Yeah,
like,
bro. I was like, come on, let's just. And
It's
yeah.
9:45 and it's this heavy. It's gonna be hectic later.
Yeah, legit. This is the warm up. And then.
But that's what you learn, like when
Yeah.
you play those, warm up
Yeah.
gigs, and it's like,
Yeah, towns.
you gotta, figure out how to navigate
What
a
a set time is.
Yeah.
And like I've been around the club that long, I knew how the night progressed, but I just didn't know it from a DJ's perspective, which is why I just
You didn't take enough notice.
yeah, exactly.
of
And I
the
train
sound
wrecked
at
it too
times.
hard. And Townsend kind of let it slide for the first one, as a nice bloke he is.
And then he was like,
The-
man, next time
The second set I played, fuck me, he gave me a
he tore
serving.
into you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, in a good way though. Like kudos. If he
Sounds
had-
like you deserved it.
I did.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did. Are you serious? I had my pants down, ass ready for a spanking, and he was serving it with a wooden ladle straight away. But
So
like,
you do this again, you're out.
yeah,
Like,
he
you gotta
was like,
fucking play to the set time.
yeah, and it was like it was good though because it really like wisened me up. I was just it
You
was
got to know your role, kind of thing.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like-
and like I was just it wasn't that I didn't know. It wasn't that I was being like I just playing what I wanted. I just didn't have enough experience. Like,
Yeah,
flat.
you
Then-
didn't have the tunes for that set, maybe.
No,
or,
I
like,
was just downloading what I liked rather than what I needed.
Yeah,
And then the third set, he came over and said, "Better job. That's better."
yeah.
And then
More of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And yeah, just from there, just started progressing. So Met Coco is my home. I love it. I love that room to bits. I love it more than any other part of the club, obviously. Like I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Maine, and I love bamboo and smokers is smokers. But Coco has a place in my heart. That was it. That was it. 2 train wreck sets into it.
Yeah, yeah. And then so you just been playing like Coco mainly then? Like I've seen you played Sub Rosa a couple of times as
Yeah.
well.
So, Coco's been like my main club.
It's your main bay.
Yeah. She's not my side hoe. She's the one.
Yeah.
Subs is becoming the main bay as well. Like I really love just the different stuff I can play there.
Yeah.
It's just cool. Like it's just I can go like I loved it when Rob, because he does the bookings there too. He messaged the first gig we had there, messaged all of us. He's like, no commercial music, and we all just like, oh,
Oh,
like
thank
ah.
you. Yeah.
Like coming from the Met, which has to be commercial,
Yeah.
to a
It's got to be
place
slightly
where it's like,
commercial, yeah.
and if you play commercial music, you lose the crowd. Where it's like, he wasn't kidding. It was like, oh my god, so good.
Yeah,
So
it's like they don't want to hear a fucking sample from fucking, some
pop
hip hop song or pop
hip
song.
hop song.
No, they just want to hear like a dope tune.
They want to hear a dope tune. Yeah, and it's I love it, bro. Like I
Doesn't
love
need
it.
to have vocals.
I know. Are you serious?
It's
I'm in
probably
my
better if
element.
it doesn't have
Oh
vocals.
my god, just give me that fat
Yeah,
bass line.
it's better
See you
without
later.
vocals. Get rid of the vocals.
Yeah, just chop it and that's it, and put it very sparse.
Yeah. We're trying to talk over here while we dance.
It's so good.
We don't want vocals.
We supply our
messing
own
with them.
vocals, baby.
Yeah, we make our own vocals. Yeah.
But yeah, so Subs and Coco is my 2. I've played a set of cocktails on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Wasn't my vibe.
Yeah.
Just because it's it's cheesy electro and bounce. And
Yeah.
I love electro. I don't like cheesy electro. I don't like bounce. So
Yeah.
it's one of the few genres I just can't get around.
Yeah.
And then after that, like I started like getting more into like pubs and venues.
Yeah.
Like the Osborne 16 Antlers, played Stockies, mainly on like a Thursday or a Friday or a Saturday.
Yeah.
It was cool. I love that too because I could just get away with my deep house, commercial house,
Yeah. Just a
chill
bit more
house.
easy listening house vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
like I'd miss playing that because I haven't played it before. And yeah, that was like where I'd like spend most of my weekends, and then my like dessert, I'd like to call it, would be like a Coco set or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Sub set.
The other ones are like the rent payers, as they say.
Yeah, no, literally, because
Yeah.
before ISO, it was like half of my wage came from
Yeah.
DJing. Like
Yeah.
literally, it was
Yeah.
and it was cool. I vibed it, and you meet some cool people. It's good vibes. You just rock up, play a chill set,
Yeah.
have some fun, and then I need to piss.
Yeah, I need to piss too. We got to get some more beers. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be back.
Yes, thank
Sweet.
you. See you soon. I love my fresh Vans. Oh.
Fresh Vans, mate.
Mate, like if I'm a hoe, I'm a hoe for Vans.
Yeah, you're a van fan.
Like
A fan of the van.
I'm a fan of the van, and I'm the man for the van.
What do you have a van? Not yet.
You've started me now.
How have I started you? What's
Well,
that?
I would love to just own a van with Vans printed on the side, and all it is just decks and Vans,
Yeah.
kitted out in the back. It's a mobile DJ booth and shoe shop at the same time.
That's pretty sick.
Could you imagine like being at a festival at kick-ons and your shoes are trash and you just want a fresh pair of shoes? And
Yeah.
I'm like, do you want some Vans, bro?
Yeah. Sell you some Vans, bro.
Yeah, man. It's like, oh, what?
That's a good little business idea there.
Oh, I've got, you know what I've got like for a festival idea? Selling ciggies at a festival.
Well, how do you do that? You need a license and stuff.
Would you?
Yeah, well, they sell would you? Underground.
This is obviously not going for that,
Yeah. This is just like
It's
having
not-
a shitload of ciggies.
The
at a
man
festival.
doesn't know it about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You could do
Yeah.
you could do singles, you could do packs, like
Singles. Selling singles.
$5 a pop. People would pay that shit. Are you serious?
Yeah, at a festival. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
So let's talk about your mixology thing. We touched on it earlier. You started at the start of the year. What's the vibe around it? Let everyone know what it's about and how people can find it.
Yeah, for sure. So I came up with like the idea late last year. Like at the start, it was just about like it was a bit of a. I wanted, because obviously I haven't been releasing anything. I wanted to get my SoundCloud a bit more consistent with something. So I was like, what can I do? And then I was like, I'll do a mix. But then I was like, what? Everyone's doing mixes, you know what I mean? Like no offense, put up your mixes, whatnot. But I love being different to a certain degree. So I wanted to do something different, and then I'm a socialite, I'm a little social butterfly, so I wanted to do something with people.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, what's the best way I could do it? And I was like, all right, well, I'll do a mixed series featuring a guest artist. And I had a look online at a few, like on SoundCloud or whatever. I was getting the vibe of it, but the main inspiration, to be honest, was Defected and Tool Room. So
Yeah.
Defected Radio and Tool Room Radio.
Yeah.
Defected I don't listen to as much anymore, purely because their Spotify hasn't updated for ages, or last time I
Yeah.
checked, it hadn't.
They've been quiet. Yeah.
On Spotify, on YouTube, you can still find all their mixes and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like anyway, and then I went to Tool Room because it's on Spotify, and I absolutely adore Mark Knight.
Yeah.
Being able to play the same night as that legend, have a chat with him, like nicest bloke. Oh, just yeah, like
How like so many people who are like the top of the game are really nice people,
it's ridiculous.
and it's like the people who are like just that tier below are the ones who aren't the nice
wankers,
wankers, because then they know that they're not at the top.
Yeah,
and the people at the top got there because they've and they know they've had people help them along the way.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, how are you? You know, they're willing to talk to
they're
just
human
anyone.
beings,
They're real people.
like, like getting into the philosophy of like fame is another thing I'm sure we'll touch on later on. But just chatting with him, I just really, really, really adore the way he presents himself, his company, his business. Tool Room doesn't just extend to the label; like they partner with like music conferences. They're holding I think called a virtual music conference. You can look it up at virtualmusiccon.com. I'm gonna sign up to it. You have to pay to register, but it's like really good. It's like industry experts across all things, from like label owners, DJs, producers, club owners, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just really good insight. It's like ADE but online,
Yeah.
and all the profits go to charity as well. So I'm not even being sponsored at the moment. Like it's just
sure background
I
deal.
wish,
He's
I
got
wish.
a free. He's got a free registration to plug it on the podcast.
If I was somehow sponsored by that, I'd let everyone know.
Hey, Tool Room, sponsor us. Sponsor me too.
Tool Room,
Get us both
it's
on
the
there.
best.
Yeah. Sponsored by Tool Room.
Yeah. Tool Room. Nah. No, but seriously, like, check it out. It's cool. It's just gonna. I reckon it's gonna be good to like have an insight into that. But yeah. Anyway, so like the whole concept of a radio show for electronic music just bedazzles me, because like you don't have that shit in Australia, but like over in the UK and Europe, it's like
huge.
You hear that shit on the actual radio. Like that's an actual radio show. You know what I mean? Like
BBC One, like
you know what I mean? Like it's just, oh my god, it's just that the idea of that just amazed me, because I've always loved radio, not like radio tunes, but the concept of radio.
Yeah.
Used to like Triple J before it turned to trash.
Yeah. Everyone loves old Triple J.
Oh man. Okay, side note, I remember I was on the bus in Stanford. I was about grade 10, grade 9 even. And you know how shit grade 9ers are.
Yeah.
Come on, boys. Come on, girls.
Grades.
We all know.
Grade 9, grade 10's like the wanky years.
From like in the teaching circles, it's what we call the boot camp year. It's like, do you want to be a teacher? Put up some 9s for the year, and then see what you want to do afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was on the bus, and this was when I was like still into my old rock and whatnot. And the bus driver was playing Triple J, but old school Triple J.
Yeah.
Like old school, but at least older school.
Yeah.
Triple J. And I was like, what is this shit? I was like, what is this shit? Like, not in a bad way, but I was just like, what is this? And he's like, trust me, mate, give me a few years and you'll be listening to Triple J.
You're loving it,
In my head, I'm like, whatever.
That
bus driver is like, proved me wrong.
Yeah, shout out to the bus driver.
Shout out to the Stanny bus driver. I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're doing, but kudos.
Hopefully you're doing well wherever you are.
Yeah, please. Yeah, make sure, because you've done justice in the scene. So the concept of a radio show really fascinated me, and especially the way they break it up into segments, which is what I'm working towards for the mixology at the moment. I'll explain that in a bit, but just the whole idea of just present it like like a show rather than just a mix really fascinated me. And I was like, okay, cool. So, that's when I got the idea to, do an intro, do the mix, do a in between, introducing the next artist.
Yep.
that kind of stuff. Eventually I want to get someone to record some like overlay on top, like you're in the mix with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Just,
Voiceover stuff. Yeah.
yeah, just because it sounds cool and
Yeah.
it just gives it that more element of a show rather than just a straight mix.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't want to go towards, because I know it's oversaturated. SoundCloud is
Yeah.
oversaturated with it. And then the last part for me, and I remember like just chatting to people about this at the club, at subs, whatever. Just like asking feedback, is this a good idea before I invest?
Yeah.
Was the podcast bit or interview bit, you could say, at the
Yeah.
end, where the goal of it was to chat about music, chat about their mix, them, give them a bit of a showcase. Who are you? What do you like? What do you like to do? Why do you like this? What do you like? It's very music orientated, obviously, because it's only about 15-20 minutes max. Yeah, just like that kind of stuff. Just talking about just giving people a spotlight for a second, because I know when I've been given that opportunity in certain like circumstances, especially with now, what I mean. It's amazing. It's a great feeling. It's cool. It's like someone wants to listen to me.
Everyone wants to talk about themselves.
Of course, yeah. But no one does in the industry because etiquette or whatever it is. But
well, you just don't have there's no platform for it.
Yeah.
It's like, when do you have a chance to just talk about your story and how you've come up or anything like that?
Yeah, or like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's alright if I feed in the couch.
Yeah, bro.
I'm getting comfortable. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, cool. So that kind of stuff, chat to him, where'd you come from? What do you like? What are you doing? Give him a bit of promo, where you playing, what songs you have.
Yeah.
And then the last bit's like the banter section, where I just talk shit and, do little fun games where I'm like, one of them's like, it's like, I'll ask him, out of these two songs, one you can listen to forever, then the one you can never listen to again, and give him two just undecidable songs.
Yeah.
And we all know it's hard to pick a favorite, let alone choose between two. You shouldn't have that with your siblings, but and then other things like I think it's like kill, marry, fuck, or whatever it is. I've been playing that in high school. So it's like the same thing, but with music. So it's like, who would you be to be with? Who would you write an album with? And who would you never listen to again? Yeah. Just like cool little, like just fun little things that just make it a bit different, but also gives that, just that
bit of personality and a bit of fun banter.
And that diversity too. Like, if you don't want to listen to it, it's right at the end, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Excuse me. If you just want to listen to straight mixes, if you just want to get into the music, it's there as well.
Yeah.
But I've had people come up to me say it's my favorite bit or whatever.
Because, exactly. Yeah.
It's like nice to listen to at the end, and it's just especially.
You know what you should do? You should just chop that stuff up, that little banter bit at the end, and use that like clips for socials.
I've got true.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes, didn't even think of that.
Put it on your your Instagram or your TikTok. Do you have a TikTok?
Okay. Side note: I have it. I haven't used it.
Start uploading the little banter bits on TikTok.
I won't scroll through it though. I'm like,
no, just upload.
Just upload.
Just be a creator. Be a creator, not a consumer.
Yeah, it's just
that's what I'm telling everyone in the industry at the moment. It's like
my morals,
I get sucked into all the what's going on. I'm like, just think of yourself as being someone who's creating, and don't consume as much. Like, just look to all the platforms to create. When you do that, it's like it changes it totally for you, man.
Yeah. Well, that's what to be honest, I didn't think of it. I didn't frame it that way with words, but it's the way I've taken to Instagram, because I detest social media. Yeah. Like, absolutely detest it. Like, I don't know why. I just don't like it at all. I love looking at memes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Sharing that kind of stuff, and obviously like looking at what's going on music wise is amazing, but for me,
testing it is like a little experiment. It's like it's like a social experiment with social media. It's like, do people like promo shots with a quote, or do they like photos of like real life photos, like of just like not even high res or any like not edited, just like real in the moment. Like, what do people vibe with?
I've just taken a real statistical approach to it, just looking at like not numbers for the fact of I'm popular, but just stats wise to see performance and growth. Just
what works, what doesn't.
Yeah, to get my mindset out of the fact of social media, because I don't know why, it's just something I just haven't liked for ages. But anyway, we're sidetracking again. Tangents.
Tangent
City. Yeah, legit. Yeah. Oh, you have no idea. Especially coming from a math background, it's like a double pun for me. So
Yeah, man. I've always been huge into maths and
Yeah,
like
straight
science
up.
and like
I can't wait to chat to you about it.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the whole point of it. So I get a new guest artist each month. My first 20 minutes is just tunes and vibing. It used to be tunes I play in the club or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Not
I
at the moment.
no, unfortunately. So it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so it's just tunes I'm rocking out in the kitchen with.
Yeah.
But
Loving, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Tunes
Yeah.
you're loving,
Have
yeah.
you ever cooked a spag bowl to this song? Give it a go.
Yeah.
But and then I'd always finish each 20-minute segment with a classic house track. I love paying respects because most people know most of my sets I always drop some old school anthems, like
Yeah,
house wise anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you just like random, like like in my in one of my sets I drop like Knife Party, Internet Friends,
Yeah.
like just classics. I always love finishing that a mix with that just to give some nostalgia. Like one of my favorites to finish with was Project X not Project X, the movie, but Head to Roll, Yeah's A-Track
Yeah,
remix.
A-Track
Like
remix.
man, like just like the original though, no remix, no chop, just get some good nostalgia into you.
Yeah.
Then I guess artist comes on. For this year, it's been kept within the house realm.
Yeah.
My plans for next year onwards is to start dipping into other genres.
Yeah.
So I want to start just basically, I wanted to build a bit of a base first, a bit of a platform, a bit of a concrete foundation on what this series, sorry, I suppose is about. And then moving into like from next year onwards, start going into other artists who I know don't fit the tech house mold, and I'm like, that's okay. I want you to do
Other
something.
genres, yeah.
I want you to, I don't want you to be different. I just want you to play what you would play, and I don't mind what it goes to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You do you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like have fun with it. It's like what do you like? What are the songs you want to showcase?
Because it's like when you play at a venue and you're playing at a club, you've got to play to the room, to the set, to like what's working.
Even if it's a headline, you still have to read the crowd.
Yeah.
But that's not the point of this.
Unless it's a ticketed show. Like, like you're doing...
unless you're fucking Calvin Harris.
You're touring and everyone's coming to see you play at a ticketed show.
Yeah, but I'm not booking people like Calvin Harris, unfortunately. But
not yet.
Not yet. Optimism. But
Calvin, we'll send you a DM.
Shout out, bro.
We'll DM you, Calvin. When you're in Australia, come play
That's right.
Mixology.
Please. So that's the point. It's like I don't want, like structure or restrictions. It's what do you like? What have you loved for a fair while now? Put it or new, I don't mind. Put it in here.
Yeah. And
just show off you within your songs. Obviously you've it's a mix, but it's just no bars held. So that's the motto of it. So that's the whole vibe behind it. Like I just really want to like give people just a space to be like, this is it's like I want it to feel like when you go up to your mate and you're like, oh, have you listened to this kind of thing, but in a mix, what I mean. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Like I don't care. It's like it's not the point. It's the point is you. It's your show. You
do whatever you want. Yeah. It's your feature.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You are the guest artist.
Yeah.
So and then instead, so that's every month. I have like one mix per month at the moment. But for the first 5 months, it'll be like new people.
Yeah.
And then on the 6th month of each year, so that's twice. So the first half of the year, so June, and then the second half will be in December.
Yeah.
That half of the year, so for the first half of this year, and then for the second half of this year coming up too, is where instead of getting a 6th artist on, I want to pull everyone back into the spotlight and show off a bit of everyone's DJing by doing a 2-hour live stream where we all get 20-minute sets each.
Yeah.
So that way you can see them live, you can see them in the mix. I know like, DJ mixes compared to playing in the live, it's definitely a different vibe.
Yeah.
You get to see some, some skill, you get to see some live DJing. I know it's
Yeah.
saturated at the moment, but there's a different meaning behind it.
Yeah.
And then, we'll just do a 2-hour mix. We'll do a quick little like group chat at the end of it. And then that'll be it, like for the actual upload. Yeah. But then like on the actual live stream of the night, we'll go for another hour where it's just an orgy on the decks and we all just have some fun and like throw tunes around with each other.
Yeah. Just have some fun.
Yeah. And no bars held. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's just for a bit of banter because we can, and it's cool. It's just so.
And I reckon you'll see that will do better than any of the other stuff because
100%.
it's like just everyone having fun.
Yeah,
like...
it's the creaming. It's the icing on the cake. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I've labeled him like this one's gonna be called Maffick's Halftime Entertainment you know, for 2020.
Yeah, yeah.
And then for the December gig, it'll be called the Full-Time Kick On. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
just because, like you said, it probably will, because it's that live element, it's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
featured element, and
Yeah.
it's what I want to do. You know, like I want to give basically, like, if you're a producer, if you're a DJ, if you're both, like it doesn't matter if you get on this, it gives you every angle you can to express your music, both in production, both
Yeah.
in DJing, both
Yeah.
live, and both as a person when you get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
chat at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
And what do I get out of it? Yeah, I you know, I get to meet a lot of new people, and yeah, hopefully it will help me as well. Obviously,
Bro, you get content.
yeah,
You
business.
get
You know,
content is king. Like,
business
you
is
get
two
content.
ways, and it's
That's
like
why I said to you, chop up those little things and post them,
exactly.
because it's
Yeah.
like you've got the mix is like once a month, but then you can chop it up into micro content that you can post throughout the month.
Yeah, to keep
You
it
know,
relevant.
to post.
Moving into
Oh,
the
have you
next
checked?
promo,
Have you
yeah.
checked out the latest Mason? You know, the mixology. Here's what we chatted about at the end, and then people like hear the chat and go, "Oh, that was cool. Like, they sound really cool. I'll go listen to the show now." You know. So it's like, you know, finding ways to make up that little micro content of like promotional stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And the way, like, you know, I'm very much 50-50. Like, I give, you give, I take, you take,
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
It's
So
collaboration sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's the best way to describe it, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah, and it's like I want, you know, I want to give as much as I'm gonna get, if not more,
Yeah.
to what you get from this.
Yeah.
And it's just starting out, but you know, I feel like it can be a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
Locally, and then eventually start branching out into, you know, higher tier artists, you could
Yeah.
say, or people interstate, and then even internationally or whatnot.
Here's the best tip for anyone out there. Think globally, act locally.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
anything, you know, like
That's the mindset I had. It's
like,
like, how can I
you
platform
come
this
up with a
across the world?
global concept, but then think about, all right, I'll start it locally. How can I like build it here and then slowly grow it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
For anything.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the way I pictured it. I'm like, if I had Calvin Harris on this, or if I
Yeah.
had, you know, a local artist or a friend of mine on, how could this function in the same way? How
Yeah.
could it be used in the same way?
And be popular across that whole spectrum. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you've just, you know, like I'm still starting out, you know, DJ producer. I'd say I've had a bit of business experience with running my own business, but the biggest like thing I say to everyone who I chat to about like the industry, it's like, especially when you start out, you've got to treat yourself as a business,
Yeah.
but not yourself, your personal brand, your persona, and you got to think of it as you know, as logically as you can. And how can I market this? How can I business? And it's
Yeah.
not bad. It doesn't degrade from it, because you're not thinking about that with the music.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not you know, if you start thinking, oh well, I need to start making pop tunes for it to go viral on TikTok,
Yeah. Yeah.
then that's when, you know, shit might get a little bit hairier. Unless you want to do that, then that's completely fine.
I think you should do it the other way. You should go, how can I make my tunes that I like to make appropriate and popular on TikTok or whatever it is, you know? Like,
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, you could have those little banter segments
Yeah.
on TikTok where
What-
you do the what was it, back to back, produce with and never listen to again. Like,
Yeah.
just that, like a 1 to 2 minute clip of that with an artist on TikTok would be like awesome, you know?
Yeah,
Like, and you can have
don't
a heap
shape
of them.
it. Yeah, don't shape it from the source. Mold it after it's been made.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the whole point of it. You can, again, bit of promo here. You can find me on SoundCloud. Just look up Mason Maffick.
Have you got it on Mixcloud?
I'm going to start.
You should definitely do that, man.
branching out,
100%
yes.
put it on Mixcloud, like,
Yeah.
because that's actually the place where that kind of stuff should live. That's what Mixcloud is for. It's
Yeah.
for mixers. It's for all that. They don't want original music.
Yeah, they
SoundCloud
just-
wants original music,
Yeah.
whereas like Mixcloud wants mixers, radio shows. So that's where you should put that
Yeah.
content. Like,
Well,
yeah.
my goal was to start to do that by the end of this month, was to
Yeah.
make a profile, do some promo, and then slowly add one each fortnight, and
to catch up.
catching up to the end of the year, so I have a full year's worth of content. So by the end of 2020, hopefully things are better by then. I'm up to date with both.
Yeah.
And then my other platform was YouTube, but obviously copyright issues is a pain in the ass, so I need to see how I can work around that. Even if it's just the podcast bit, and I can just upload that section.
Yeah.
just
Well,
to get onto that
I've
platform.
been putting stuff up on YouTube with copyright as well, so I can give you some tips
Man,
on that.
it's a Oh, there's
figuring it
multiple
out.
words I could use, but I'll just. But
But
yeah,
it's pretty good YouTube. Like it's
it's
only
it's one of the best. It's the best.
some of the
platform.
things
Are
like
you
it's like
serious?
it'll find all the copyrights, but then it's like, oh no, you're sweet to still post it. It's only sometimes you get ones where they block it and they're like,
Warner's
you
is
can't
like,
play that.
Warner Brothers is like, hang on, Big Daddy says no.
It's like, no, you can't put any of the video, and you're like, oh, so you got to crop it out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. But you
yeah.
can make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, devs and like YouTube wise, like YouTube. Oh, I'll finish off. If you want to jump on as well, swing
Yeah.
me a message. I'm more open for anyone.
yeah.
Even if I don't know you, the better. To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
like if you listen to this and you're keen, just flick me a message.
Yeah.
You can find me on Insta or Facebook, or just ask Boy King Koi
Yeah.
to
We can link you up.
Yeah, because I'd love to have people that I haven't met, because that's that's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
YouTube, man. Honestly, like out of music platforms, I reckon YouTube shits on everything else in the terms of versatility.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know that YouTube
I don't know
is
about you, but
YouTube is the #1 streaming platform for music in the world.
fucking
Did you know
oath
that?
it is.
It's got like 50% market share. 50% of all music that's streamed is on YouTube.
Bro, like, do you remember? And anyone who's like, what? I'm like, take you back to. Oh, okay. Sorry, Mr. Grandpa, but like,
Yeah. Take you back to when I was like 25.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. When I was like, in high school days, early high school days, like Vivo and YouTube were the only places you could find music.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like that was it. Like that was where your original source. And I shit you not, there's songs you can find on YouTube that you can't find on SoundCloud, and you don't even bother finding on like Apple Music or Spotify or Deezer or whatever.
Yeah.
Like YouTube is just the king. I mean, like it's owned by Google. Like Google is Google. Google's not even a brand anymore. It's a common phrase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Google it.
Yeah,
Like,
that is it. Like it is so ingrained to people, they don't even understand it's a brand. Like,
it's so funny. I remember when I was like in high school and I did like the IT subjects. It was like back then. It was like, oh, we're gonna look at search engines, and it's like, oh, cool. And then it's like, so there's like all these search engines. It was like Alta Vista, Ask Jeeves, Google was like one. There was Yahoo was a search engine. So there's
Firefox or
all the there was all these different they were just search engines.
Oh,
it wasn't like Google it. It was like search for it. And so not every search engine would have every but it wouldn't have every website on every search engine. It wasn't like Google where everything can be found on Google. It was like, oh, you have to go to
dig
a different search engine to find that webpage to search for that.
It's kind of like with
weird,
some tunes where you can't find it on Spotify or Apple Music.
Similar,
find it on YouTube,
but it was just for websites.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy how much Google is literally the definition of flex. Like, let's be honest.
yeah, of course. You mentioned you had through business and stuff. What business have you done? Like, what's your business that you do or have done?
Yeah, so I run a tutoring business. So I've been a tutor for bringing in close to 6 years now.
Yeah.
Just tutoring high school kids, a few university students, a few primary kids. And
what kind of stuff? Like, what kind of?
So I mainly teach senior math and physics, science, junior math, junior anything really.
Yeah.
The only few subjects I haven't taught is drama and art, I think.
Yeah.
And IT, to be honest, I don't even bother starting to learn that. It's a whole nother void. I'm just not going to get into because I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I know how deep it is, and I'm like, I just know I'd rather I just can't focus mainly on that, or I would never get
too
out
much
of it.
other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been tuning for ages, and then about 2 years ago, I decided that look, I want to stop working for other people. I want to be the man, as you could say. And just turned it into a business where like ABN, and had a few tutors employed underneath me, and nothing major. It's very very small, very very small.
Yeah.
But it's
But
just
if you got a kid out there and you need a tutor,
hit me up.
hit him up. What's the business called? Is it
MS Tuition.
MS Tuition. Hit it up.
Yeah,
Plug.
straight up.
And you're studying to be a teacher, you said?
That's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
second year?
Yeah,
Not second year, sorry.
secondary. Yeah, that's right.
Secondary,
Yeah. High school.
High school.
Math and physics is my teaching areas.
Yeah.
So shout out, I'm a bit of a nerd.
Yeah.
If most people don't know that, I've got my geeky side, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what do you love about what got you into doing that? Like, what made you want to be a teacher in that space?
Um, there is like an absolutely hilarious story about what made me swap degrees that
Yeah.
can't share on camera because
All right, tell us later.
I would definitely tell you afterwards.
We'll do the behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure. And if
Yeah.
you want to find out, just ask me and don't bring a phone. But
Yeah.
no, I when I first started studying, I was studying a Bachelor of Aviation. I was going to be a commercial pilot.
Yeah.
And I did a year of that, and yeah, it was alright. But like the biggest thing that I weighed up was the degree was $130,000 to start with.
Yeah.
120, whatever it is, plus like 15 grand up
Expensive,
front.
yeah.
Oh, bro, like you got to be filthy rich or have family
Yeah.
to be able to be a pilot. And that was the thing, like the networking and connections you'd need to be able to be like you can be a pilot, but to be a commercial pilot, which means to fly for Virgin, Qantas.
Yeah.
I mean, rip Virgin, but like
Yeah.
hopefully they come back. But
Yeah, I've got a credit with them. I was meant to fly up to Townsville to play like a
Bruh.
little tour. I'm
Bruh.
like, and they're like,
Bruh.
oh, we'll cancel the flights, give you a credit. I'm like, oh, I probably won't see that money again.
yeah, it's like, bruh, it's like, is that going to transfer into the next sister company or what? But
Yeah.
but yeah, so to be able to like, do domestic flights or even like international, it's like years of shit kicking to maybe get a job
Yeah.
or family connections or money. And
what's the pay like anyway? Is it
it's
even that
fucking
good?
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
like
good.
3 to 500K a year if you're like
Yeah,
with
yeah.
top notch. Like Cathay Pacific's like on $500,000 a year,
Yeah.
and you can only work a certain amount of hours per month because of flight restriction times on your work hours. So you can only.
Because you got to be fully rested and ready to.
Yeah,
they
I think
can't
it's
run
only
you
like
dry.
1 to 2 weeks per month you're legally allowed to fly. So you're
Yeah.
only doing like half week.
Yeah.
You fly for 1 week, you have rest. You might fly some domestic, fly another international trip.
Yeah.
Maybe one more domestic trip, and that's your whole month done. So it's great pay, awesome gig. I love flying to this day. I love space. I love like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the passion wasn't there as much as I have for other things, obviously music and teaching.
Yeah.
And B, if anyone's picked up, like you need family connections, you need money, or you need to be shit kicking for years.
Yeah.
Does that not sound like the music industry?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's what I said to myself. Sorry if I've offended anyone, but that's what I kind of realized with myself. And I'm like, I'd rather be rolling my dice in the industry of music than in the industry of aviation.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Teaching, I've always been doing for ages. I've always loved. I love helping people out. It's just me as a person. And I've always loved high school, and it's weird to say I miss high school. Like just I don't know. I just love it. Love the school environment. And just the aspect of being a teacher was like, just really, really like just presented itself one day, which I'll tell you about later on. But and I just made the switch, and I'm in my final year now, and
Final year of teaching. Yeah.
Yeah,
So done many placements yet?
So I've done like an observation prac. I've done a 3-week prac. I was in amongst a 5-week prac, but I had to pull out due to medical reasons, unfortunately. Which means I have to redo that one this year. But because of ISO and Corona,
it's hard to do it.
I need to do 13 weeks of placement to graduate. Which
and it's hard to do at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we're suspended till term 3.
Yeah.
And what kind of school wants to take on some, prac teacher?
Yeah.
In amongst everything. So if my graduation happens this year, who knows? It's kind of in limbo at the moment.
Well, I know this because I work at a school. Like, teachers get a little bit of extra money if they take on a prac student. Not a lot.
Oh,
but a little
truly.
bit. A little bit. It's not much.
So that makes total sense. I would just plead to them, like, do you want some extra coin, hun? Put me on.
It's not much, but the other thing is that like they can just if you're a good prac student, they can just be like, all right, you teach the lesson. I'm just gonna go do some paperwork.
Any teachers,
I'm gonna go do some paperwork. You teach the lesson. I'll just be at the back of the room on my laptop.
If there's any teachers out there, all right, I've been tutoring for 6 years. Most of my pracs have been above satisfactory. I'm on a decent GPA. You hire me as a prac student, I swear to God, I'll run the room. You can do all you want. Just let me graduate this year.
Yeah. Get onto it. Any teachers out there?
Please help me. Nah. But so that's there. Yeah, that's that kind of aspect.
So you're real into like maths and science.
Yeah, like hard. Like, if I'm not looking up YouTube tutorials on like sound design or stuff like that, I'm looking up how's the world gonna end? How's the universe end? What's the
Yeah.
theories of life?
So what's your favorite theories then, like with things
Of
like
what?
of whatever you're into?
So there's a few running theories of how the universe ends. So there's the one
cool.
where it's the big freeze, where everything drifts apart so
Yeah.
quick that everything
Moves
freezes.
so far apart because everything's
Yeah,
drifting apart.
drifting
Yeah.
faster than the speed of light. Then there's the big bounce, which is the most popular theory, that we all expand so far ahead away from each other that everything kind of collapses into black holes, which then reabsorb each self back to each other, which then all collide back into one singular black hole,
Yeah.
which then
is the
re-explodes
Big
back into the
Bang.
Big Bang,
Yeah.
and then that leads into the theory of infinite universes on an infinite timeline, which then links into the multiverse theory of multiple
Yeah.
universes happening simultaneously. And there's a few others, but that Big Bounce one's my favorite because it's the
Yeah.
most, like, it sounds like some shit out of sci-fi movie, but like, I shit you not, bro.
Because it is.
Yeah.
Sci-fi is based off real science.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know, like
Parts
science
of it,
extrapolated.
yeah, exactly.
Science extrapolated
I like
to the
that.
extreme.
Good cover.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like it's crazy. Like the thing is, like I could walk up to a high-ranking physicist at like CERN or whatever and be
Yeah.
like, "Tell me about the Big Bounce theory," and they'll be full into like, "Yeah, here's the math for it." Like
Yeah.
it's not dreams. It's not like shit
It's
you make
actually
up.
real.
It's
mathematical that you
you'd
can
think all-
quantify.
Yeah, you think these
Yeah.
physicists are just getting high one day and be like, "What if?" Like it's like, no. This is a leading
No, I can show you the
theory.
maths, and the maths works out. Like
Yeah.
the equation balances.
Yeah.
On each side. Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, and like the concept of like, because I love to blend philosophy with science because obviously they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And the concept of like quantum dynamics and the fact that
Yeah.
like shit down at this like subatomic level just
Yeah.
isn't even there. It's probability of it being there. It's
Yeah.
so.
It gets so weird.
Excuse me. And it's like, it's literally the fact of like, it's a probabilistic nature of life.
Yeah.
That we just can't really sink in. I'm still not comfortable with it. Like, you can't think that you're here because there's a 99.99997% chance you're here.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
But
like
there's still that
It's still there.
0.00001% chance that you're
yeah.
actually not here.
it's like the Ajax kills 99.9% of
Yeah.
germs. What about the 0.1%?
Yeah,
Well, it's
yeah.
like that, but like 0.00001.
Yeah.
And
It's
like,
still there though. It could be there.
oh fuck me, like it's just
But you can't measure it.
no,
You can't measure that it's
You
there.
literally
like, yeah.
can't. Like we don't have the and then it gets to the point where like to actually like physically sense what's going on impedes the actual experiment. So
Yeah.
it's like you just have to guess, and it's like what? Like I don't
That's what happens
fucking
with
guess
quantum
to
mechanics.
walk.
That's
Yeah.
what happens with quantum mechanics because it's like as soon as you start trying to capture it, you have to bounce light off it to
Yeah,
measure
exactly.
it, and that interferes with what it's doing already.
Yeah, it's the momentum position. Oh, it's a Heisenberg uncertainty principle
Yeah,
where you
exactly.
can't know how much momentum you have, which is essentially how fast it's going. You can know how where it is, but you can't know how fast it's going. You can know how fast it's going, but you can't know where it is.
Yeah.
And just look up Schrodinger's cat. Like that will be entertaining if you want to look it up, just to kind of keep like understand what shit we're chatting. But
I loved seeing like a meme about it's like we're all living the Schrodinger's like cat sort of like life at the moment. It's like you can go out, but you shouldn't go out. If you're out, you shouldn't be out, but you can go out.
straight up,
Yeah, but you shouldn't be out.
it's the most.
it's like
it's-
weird, like
Yeah.
But you can go out, but you shouldn't be out.
But if you go out, you should go home.
Yeah,
But if you're going out,
you
aren't you going out?
shouldn't be out. But
Yeah.
are you out?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
might have corona, but you don't know if you have corona.
Mm.
But they might have corona, but you
Mm.
don't know if they have corona.
And you don't know till you got it.
Yeah, but you don't know till you've got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just a full nerd into it, man. Like
Yeah.
I said, man, if I'm not
So do you have any favorite sci-fi shows or movies then?
look, I don't watch a lot. Altered Carbon on Netflix is
Yeah.
one of my faves.
Yeah, you like
season
that
2
one?
shit. I love season 1.
Season 1 was
The
cool.
way
I haven't
they-
seen season 2 yet.
It's alright, bro, but it's definitely you can tell the Hollywood. The bloke, the actor who can't remember his name. I'm not that big of a Marvel fan.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Anyway, you'll know him when you see him. He's a lead actor. And it's just, I reckon the lead actor from season 1 was sick, even though the whole concept of the
Yeah.
show means like, you can change bodies, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, exactly.
and it's just gone more Hollywood, it's more drama, it's
Yeah.
more action. And I'm like, no, you're taking away from the whole psychological and sociological aspect of this
Yeah.
sci-fi dystopian epic. Like, it was amazing. It was cool.
What about time travel stuff? Do you like time travel?
Interstellar's one of my faves. I
Have you
know it's
seen- have you
overrated as
seen-
shit, but
Like a lot of people have seen 12 Monkeys, the movie,
it's good.
but the series,
I haven't started it yet.
mate,
Worth? Get on it.
The first season is tough to get through because it's like just recapping what the movie is, but like rebooting it.
So
But
skip
then
to season 2 if you know season.
Season
like-
2 and season 3 and 4, like
Yeah.
it's one of those ones where it's like the stuff that happened in the first episode of the whole season.
Mhm.
The last episode links right back
Links
to
back,
it.
yeah,
and
it's
then-
very
and then-
non-linear.
And then it goes.
It's
poof.
very non-linear.
You're like,
yeah.
oh, that's like so
Amazing.
amazing. Yeah, it's one of those like one I would highly recommend that to
Yeah,
you.
shit, yeah.
Especially if you like quantum mechanics and all that,
Yeah.
like, you know, stuff and like
Yeah.
with time and travel and stuff like that. It's like they
Interstellar's
go right into that real
Interstellar's
hard.
one of my fave movies. 12 Monkeys was good. I'll look into that series because I love that non-linear storyline. Like,
It's so good, man.
I really.
And you think it's things from different seasons come back into the end. Like the last season.
But they don't just throw it in there for cheese. Like
The last season is like things from all the other seasons come back and like scenes they cut back to the scene from it and it's like, oh shit, that was like totally not what I thought it was when I first watched it. It was actually
really,
this happening.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Cooked.
like
Just straight cooked.
yeah.
I love it.
Just
No,
real
I love that
crazy.
stuff. Yeah, like that's the kind of because you know from like because I take a physics stance from it. Like time travel is possible when you actually move at certain percentages of the speed of light. You know, it's the twins paradox. Another thing you can look up. If
Yeah.
like you know like you travel to a planet and back at a relative speed of the speed of light, you
'Cause
come
it's
back.
distorted by gravity.
Yeah, you come back older because for you time travels quicker, but from the observer it actually travels longer because time itself is cooked, man. When you're at that speed, time itself dilates.
Because you can't get,
Oh.
you can't travel faster than the speed of light. But as you approach the speed of light, time slows down. So
Sorry,
you're not traveling
dilates.
faster.
So time slows
slowed
down,
It's-
and space.
what? Like it's
Yeah.
so mental.
Yeah, so it's space contraction, a length contraction, so length shortens, and time dilates, which gets longer.
yeah.
The
The closer you approach,
closer
the
you
speed
approach.
of light.
And
yeah,
the reason why we can't travel the speed of light is because you have to be massless.
exactly. Yeah.
So that's why, and light's just cooked by itself. And like, man, like the thing is, like once you get into this rabbit hole, it's the like you think it's like just pure cooked, but the thing that really like hones it in for me, this is what I love, is it's real.
yeah. You can,
It might not be we might disprove this in a few years or whatever.
As
but
far as we know now, it's real.
it's real,
Yeah.
man. Like it's not some fucking
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
not
what I love
made up.
about movies, dude. Like Interstellar. This is why I love it so much. I know everyone's like, oh, it's so cliche, but they hired an astrophysicist on set.
Yeah.
So when they were writing the script, that you know,
Could this actually happen?
well, when they
and
went to
he's
that,
like, yeah, it could.
yeah,
This is how it would happen.
yeah. So they went like when they go onto that planet, and how he comes back. The Matthew McConaughey, one of my favorite actors, comes back on the ship and her daughter's like so much more older. Like you know, that's like within the bounds of special and general
Yeah.
relativity. Like that's actually what would happen. And as you approach a black hole because of its gravity,
Yeah.
gravitational pull, like that's what would you know. They tried to get the numbers as accurate as they can within a Hollywood spectrum.
Have you? This is like going back old school, like sci-fi. Stargate,
Oh man, I've just started to get into it. Hey,
dude. The way that show finishes, like Stargate Universe, the last one they did, is amazing to do with a black hole. Like, I won't spoil it for
don't
you
please.
because
I'd stab you.
You will love how it finishes.
Yes.
It's literally like the most mind fucked, but like I want to tell you because you'll love it, but I don't want to tell you
Yeah.
because it'll spoil it. But yeah,
There's a nice movie on time travel. I think it's called from memory The Cube. It's called.
oh, the cube.
Have you seen it?
I've seen
Bro,
all
that's
three of the
retro.
cubes, bro. That's like in the 90s when I was like
Yeah.
just starting high school, and it
Yeah.
was like, let's watch horror movies.
Yeah.
It's like the Cube 1, the Cube 2, and then the Cube Squared is just
Yeah.
like a mind fuck. Like,
Yeah.
but don't go watch the Cube 1. like the first one. Don't watch it now. The graphics and everything are so bad.
It's trash.
So terrible. The graphics.
It's trash, but like it's good throwback, isn't it?
Yeah. It's pretty terrible graphics,
Man.
but it's a good concept. I love the
Yeah.
concept. Yeah.
I love that layer. Like I need to be like ingrained into a movie. I can't just watch, like
It's going to be engaging for
look.
you.
I'll spoil this, boys. And I know it's when I'm really had a big weekend.
Yeah.
Right. I'll put on a cheeky rom-com. Like
Yeah.
a good one, not a soppy one.
Just something to be in the background. You don't even have to concentrate.
No, I usually fall asleep to it. But but when I want to watch like even like horror or thriller, like it's got to have some kind of
something
like,
that draws you in.
Some
make you think.
Yeah, something to make you engaged. Otherwise, I switch off.
Yeah.
There's a few good.
It's a Gemini thing.
Yeah, straight up.
Straight up Gemini.
Oh, bro, hard. Like it's like it's balancing the two at the same time.
Yeah.
I've just been super nerdy, and I suppose like it's as we were saying before, tying this all in with Gemini, so we weren't going on too many tangents. Is like the nerdiness of like me, like the fact that I love science and maths, and you do as well, obviously.
Definitely, yeah.
That's our one half. That's our logical, calculated, scientific side, and then we've got the other side, which is pure creative.
Yeah.
Freelance, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's what I find. And music to everyone is different, obviously.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of music. Like the way I paraphrase music is it's the language of the soul.
Yeah.
It's the things you can't say. It's the things in between words and emotions.
Yeah.
And it's different to everyone. That's what I love about it. Like it's so objective. It's not even funny. But for me and you, like especially like the scientific element of it, of like the sound design, like we were saying before, combining the elements of phasing and how does FM synthesis works, and
knowing how a sound wave works.
When you put sync on serum, why does it sound like it's going more high pitched? Oh yeah, because it has a higher frequency which pushes the timbre, and then the mix down stage, which is my like favorite like scientific part, but then the arrangement production phase is my creative part. That's what I love about music personally, man. Like the fact that it just blends two of the most distant areas.
That's what I said to you just before when we had that break. I said it's like where creativity and science meet.
Straight up, it's the middle ground. It's where they both got along, didn't have a divorce, and had a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And that's the thing, like to everyone, music's different. Like music's different, man. Like music is different to everyone. It's the objectiveness of it is purely because, and this is how I frame it. Like if you've got, you've got two ends of the spectrum, right? You've got science on the left and you've got music on the right.
Yeah.
But if you think of it not as a straight line but as a circle, then they just curve around to meet.
Yeah.
At the same point.
Yeah.
And that's what music does. It bends both genres of knowledge so much that you actually are diving into both. Whether you know it or not, you might just be full scientific and might just nerd out hard on music.
Or you might be full creative just sitting with the guitar playing. But
you just might just hit random shit for like days on end. Or you might just play with shit for days on end and then eventually get to where you want. Or you might be super like calculated and then have to stop being so cold with what you're doing and give yourself some warmth creatively. But the point of the fact is that it's just like the ability to bend, those two, like, and two genres of knowledge is just amazing. And, I've thought about like other arts, within the art sector, right? And, this is like, I'm not being offensive to anything else. It's just my personal opinion.
Call them out, bro. Call them
no,
out.
No.
I'm joking.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm joking.
Not at all. But I'm just putting like in perspective, like, if you go off just the triple threat formula, dance is the perfect blend of creativeness and physique or physical health.
Yeah. Movement.
And being in the present physical sense.
Movement, physical body,
Yeah. It's the perfect blend. Like, it's just the perfect blend of creating art within human movement. You've got actual art, like drawing.
And visual art.
Visual art. Sorry, I should say. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
That for me is within its own scape.
Yeah.
Like it's the you probably would call it the definition of art because I reckon it's been around since the start.
Probably the longest. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't really have any bends. It just is art, and everything's kind of landscaped off that. You've got, and then coming through with like the triple threat like formula, like drama and
Yeah.
actors and people in that
That's
industry.
the
Social and psychological
Yeah.
aspects
Yeah,
of
of
art.
and creativity.
Yeah, bro, 100%. Like that's like for me, like I could never be an actor. Like
Yeah.
that's just too artistic for me. It's not in a diss. It's just that style,
just
that
not your-
flavor. It's
yeah.
too spicy of a chili.
Too spicy for you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that's fine. People love that kind of stuff. But that's what it is. Like, it's like people like, you have to be that kind of person, or you have to at least adapt to that kind of
Yeah.
environment to be able to do
Or
that.
at least be passionate about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have something within the realm of that.
Yeah.
And yes, like, actors, and people are like, oh, but like the biggest thing is I want to be actor because I want to be famous. Well, the reason why they're most famous is because they're most societal.
Yeah.
They're the people who are the most sociologically entwined. They
Yeah.
know how to work within the community. So
Yeah.
of course they're going to be the most popular. They're
Yeah,
your
yeah.
cool kids at school.
Yeah.
That's
they
what-
know how to act.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole point of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're more successful than,
Yeah.
other artists, you could say, or you would assume, because that's the whole point of it. It's art is within it's in the
a
boundary of
social- yeah,
sociology.
yeah.
So and they're the top dog on that rank.
Yeah.
But then you go the flip side. It's like you couldn't put an artist or an actor within like the scientific realm, and they wouldn't perform as well.
Yeah.
But you could put him. You could put a musician in, like for example, even like learning acoustic treatment for a room.
Yeah.
That's way on
Huge.
the scientific
Scientific,
engineering
yeah.
side, and even. But that's
Wait, and
still
if you need
music.
help with that, send me a message because I know how to do like doing this studio and doing other studios.
Here we are.
We know so much about that here now, like, and I'm more than happy to help anyone with it. It's measure your room size. That's the first thing. People don't understand. Measure your room size and put it in the calculator for it. There's an online calculator. And some room sizes just won't ever sound good because it's not the way waves travel. It's never gonna work.
Yeah,
in
you've
some
got
rooms.
you've got your rebounding of sound waves within a room, or
Yeah.
within a pipe, or like an enclosed
Yeah.
space. Having the door open and shut, like that. That's a whole
Makes a difference.
two
yeah.
different sets of equations
Yeah,
there. And like people like don't realize that, like, and that's again, I'll get into that in a sec, but like there's the scientific side of that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah.
art itself, and we've been copping a bad rap for ages. And especially in Corona, we've been hit hard. But I really hope people understand, because we were the first industry to go. I
Yeah.
really hope people like appreciate art when it comes back in whatever form. I don't mind what form.
Yeah.
But I really hope people appreciate it when everything reopens.
Yeah.
But moving into, as you were saying, like, honestly, like, it makes so much of a difference, because what you're listening to. The only time that doesn't like really work is, the only time that isn't as effective or negligible is with headphones. Obviously.
Yeah, because it's a closed environment here.
Yeah, you've got this amount of room and that's it. But obviously, you don't want to be mixing with headphones forever.
Unless you've got really good headphones.
Yeah, unless you dropped a K on them or whatever.
Yeah, 2K on like some LCDs
Yeah,
or
some
something,
like
yeah.
godlike
Or
headphones.
Ds or something.
Yeah, straight up. But yeah, like acoustically treating your room, because at the end of the day, man, like and the biggest way I can analogize it is like you play a track in your room with any kind of speaker that has a bit of bass. You listen to it and then you walk out to your kitchen and listen to it again. It sounds completely different. It's just straight fluff and bass, because that's the way like sound waves travel within a room. They bounce, reflect off your walls, and if you don't treat it like this, is why they've got the stuff in the corners, because all the bass sits in the corners.
Yeah.
It gives you, and that's why you like.
Bro, we've even got ceiling panels now
Oh,
too. Like,
you little flex there, isn't it?
Yeah,
no,
flexing
but it's
ceiling
straight up
panels,
because it just, that helps. Does help with the highs, or
No, so the ceiling panels is because of the size of our room. The ceiling panels help with like the
lowering the roof kind of thing, or like
but it because of the size of our room, the frequency that sort of accumulates up there is like probably the 80 hertz.
Oh, truly.
So that's to absorb the 80 hertz, so we don't.
And that's a
sort of have
crucial element too. Hey, like
This is what
man.
I mean, like when you put all the dimensions in and put it into a calculator, it
Yeah.
would be like, this is where you need to treat for this frequency.
Yeah, this is where you need
And
to
then
sit
you
your
put a-
speakers.
Then you
one
put
third away.
a reference mic in here and record it and go, all right, so at 80 hertz, when we did it without them, it's like 80 hertz, there's a big dip. All right, so we need to treat that because then it's going to stop the cancelling of those frequencies.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when we did that, it's like levels out a
Yeah.
bit more. So it's like,
And
oh, yeah, cool.
like you can notice a difference. Like for me, especially when I mix down, like when I produce, I'll just use my speakers. I mean, I haven't done shit to my bedroom because it's a bedroom,
Yeah.
and I don't have stands yet. I don't have bass foam, all that kind of stuff. But like when I go for mix down, I go straight to the headphones, and it's I'll listen to the final product on my speakers just in general, but excuse me, it's because like it's giving you a false image.
Yeah.
It's straight up giving
That's
you a
not what
false
it
image.
sounds like.
Yeah, and the biggest example of that is reverb, mate. Like reverb is classified under spaces. You want a large hall reverb, you want a cathedral reverb, you want a small corridor reverb. That's how you sound. That's how your track's gonna sound. Don't ever do your reverb on speakers. Do it in your headphones because you can hear the actual reverb coming through, not the reverb in your reverb. Not reverbception.
Unless you're doing it in a good room.
And a decent, a really nicely done studio where it's like, okay, that sounds...
You can do your reverb in here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, so where can we find you online? Let's wrap it up because I want to. You've inspired me to turn the speakers on. Listen to some music now.
I love it.
So where can we find you online? Like, what are your socials? Like, where can we find you?
All right, so. Facebook, just type up Mason Maffick, Maffick. Instagram, the same, just Mason_Maffick.
Yep.
SoundCloud, the same, Mason Maffick as well.
The Mixology is just on your Mason Maffick page?
Yeah, so Mixology is on my SoundCloud. I will be uploading a Mixcloud account. If you subscribe to any of those, you'll be able to keep updated with it. Otherwise...
Mixology? Is that what I reckon that's how you should brand your Mixcloud, just to make it called Mixology.
Yeah.
The Mixology.
Yeah, well, see, I was thinking...
Mixology with Mason Maffick.
Yeah, see, I've always called it as Maffick's Mixology. Because,
Maffick's Mixology, yeah.
Yeah, because just... And that's the reason why, I've got to... While we wrap, I'll finish off. So, blah, blah, blah. YouTube, I'm on YouTube. I haven't uploaded shit. But if you want to give me a cheeky subscribe and wait for some fortune cookies or whatever... just honestly type in Mason Maffick to Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, or YouTube, and you'll be able to find me.
Easy to find.
It's my mixology series is called Maffick's Mixology.
Cool.
I love my alliterations, as you'll find out if you look through any of my Mason Maffick mashups or Mason Maffick's Moodalicious stub or whatever. So to finish off Maffick's, obviously my last name's Stewart. I went for the Mason. Because I love Mason. It's actually a dope name. Shout out to Mum. And then Maffick, I took like two weeks trying to find like the last name that started with an M. And I was like, oh, what do I want? And then I found Maffick. So it's pretty funny. Maffick means to party or celebrate boisterously. That's the dictionary meaning. And if you've met me ever, you completely understand where that's coming from.
You get the vibe,
But also, where the word was founded was there was like 17th century, this English army overtook this town, won, and then just absolutely pillaged the village and just got absolutely drunk, burnt the whole village down, and fucked off. So that's where it comes
just
from.
A big vibe.
Yeah.
Just a big vibe.
They were on a kick on, all right? Like
it was like an old school kick on.
Yeah. They started the kick on.
That was the original kick on. That's sweet, man. Well, thanks for coming in. Good chat. I loved getting into the geeky stuff at the end too. So,
cheers, bro. Honestly, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this. Actually, I was really hoping I'd jump on one of these. Thanks for the invitation. And it's always good to chat some geeky shit with a geek.
Yeah. That's it, man. Yeah, total. I love geeking out. All right. Go follow Mason on all the platforms that we said. Go follow us on A Beer With. Hit subscribe. Do all that cool shit. And let's can't wait till we can get out and play some gigs and stuff together.
Oh man, can't wait.
Or birthday gig next week.
Well,
next year.
I was about to say
next year we'll do a gig together.
Yeah, well, hopefully, it's gonna happen. So May is our birthday.
Yeah.
We both are born on the 23rd.
Yeah.
Gemini babies. So Maffick's Mixology in May next year. I know it's ages away, but we'll be doing a special birthday edition.
Yeah.
Birthday set, birthday everything, anything that rhymes with birthday. So
I'll write a mixed EP for it.
Yeah, he's gonna put out some tunes. I'll put out some tunes. We'll get on the piss and we'll record the whole thing for your entertainment.
Yeah, sweet. All right, cheers, man.
Thank you. No, cheers. See you guys. Thank you.
See you guys.